Hello and welcome to the day 2 of the ANATY Invitational. It is going to be interesting to see what comes to go today because, of course, we have our invited teams into the semi-finals happening.
Yeah.
It is, of course, Hayes alongside myself. You were here yesterday. I wasn't. Tell me about what happened yesterday. How did these guys make it into the semi-final?
Listen, I tried to do my best impression of you yesterday. I wanted to make Josh feel as comfortable as he possibly could. So I hope I did you a bit of justice there. But yes, yesterday was some fantastic Counter-Strike. I mean, alternate aTTaX, they were in sublime form. They destroyed Ryzen. That was a 16-2 and a 16-4 win there. 2-0 easy as they shifted themselves into the next stage of the bracket there where they'll be up against Big Academy. That's going to be the first game we're going to have of the day. And then we had SSP against Epic Dudes. Now that game, that one was a lot more, in-depth. It was a lot more entertainment, I would say, just in terms of how close it was, a lot more competitive. It dropped them first map of the series. SSP came back. And, they were able to, SSP after winning the first map, then dropped their map. And you went into the decider Inferno. Epic Dudes completed the reverse sweep, so themselves the date with No Limit Gaming, and those are the two matches that we have before the grand final.
Of course, the big message here for the tournament was that we basically want to have teams in round 2 as well that haven't met each other in German competition before, and we have that happening. Big Academy up against aTTaX in our first game is going to be super interesting because, of course, we've had that kind of big shuffle within German CS, a lot of new players kind of mixing around and all of that happening. And of course, right now, this is already going to be foreshadowing to something that we might even see during the Meisterschaft further down the road if that heads into playoffs and so on. So, of course, it's going to be super interesting to see how they stack up against each other. The two of us had already kind of had a chat beforehand on what we're expecting from these games. Of course, especially saying, well, Big OMEN Academy should theoretically still have the slight upper hand.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, they've just had some really good results lately. They're on a fantastic upward trajectory right now as well, taking some big scalps and pushing games close against strong opponents as well. We've seen Crimbo recently promoted to the main big team where he helped them qualify for the European RMR. And he, by the way, he put up a 1+ rating in all 5 maps that he played for them, up against some strong opponents as well. Now he's back in the Big Academy as that Mad Fragger and IGL, so they play second at the We Play Academy League. So I think it's fair to say they're the favorites, but alternate aTTaX have been in some great form as well, Tyler.
Yeah, definitely. And that's the big story here still, that, of course, both teams, they have the experience as well. Sure, you have a couple of players on the aTTaX side that might not have the kind of high-level experience, but certainly have been around the block as well, have played CS for years upon years upon years. And, of course, I know some of these guys personally as well, especially Patrick on the side of aTTaX. Pretty much known him from previous LANs and stuff like that.
Okay.
And he's almost like the... I don't want to be too bad about him, but it's like he's kind of the grandpa in that team. I'd call him that. He's kind of the old guy, but still, of course, we'll have to see how he manages. But it's great to see that, of course, you have top-tier German teams, and then you, of course, have an academy team from one of the biggest organizations within Germany, and them also performing well. You've talked about the Academy League on an international level as well. And it's just interesting to see because, of course, that's exactly what we need. We need places like that to, of course, give them the opportunity, spend time in CS. If you're part-time or even going full-time, then that is even better.
Yeah, absolutely. It gives you the platform to build your career and to work your way up the ranks as well and have a shot at the big time. And I think, we've seen a lot of academy teams becoming quite successful and even feeding those players from the academy teams into the main teams as well, which I think has actually made like a beautiful natural progression. We're not really recycling old players anymore just because they're experienced and they don't want to have to teach new players how to play the game. Now they're getting all this experience in these academy teams already. So I think it's actually filled that void in the CS scene really nicely.
Yeah, and of course, also just the fact that the big orgs kind of all picking up academy teams, We Play making that league as well, just specifically for that. There's plenty of prize money in there as well. Sure, teams might not have all been at the same level, as that was almost like just shortly announced before everybody got their teams, but now it's developed into better and better teams, and of course now we can see that as then these academy teams can also compete in regional leagues. I think that is so important as well. Yes, we have the big championships in the world, the big leagues in the world, and of course majors happening, but we do need the kind of lower tier echelon as well, just to further talent, to build up on talent. Of course, we have some countries kind of going into even like school or university tournaments, which that, in the long term, is going to be so much more successful for them bringing up new players and also feeding them into the big national teams, then international teams later on.
Yeah.
It's super interesting to see how that all develops.
Yeah, I love that progression, right? It feels like it makes sense, and it's natural to be able to make your way from the top to the bottom. At least we're improving things, making it more doable. But bringing it back a little bit more here to this first semi-final. I mean, Alternate aTTaX versus Big Academy. I think talking a little bit about the players to watch in Alternate aTTaX, because we highlighted Crimbo from Big Academy. I would really like to talk about Ozek now. I did do this with Josh as well. He's the easy player to highlight for Alternate aTTaX because he's just been so strong recently. Their star player with that rifle, the playmaker on the CT side as well, not afraid to get into his opponent's faces, takes a lot of space on the T side. He plays really smart as well with the decisions that he makes. So I think he's going to have to be on top form. He can't afford not to pitch up. Unfortunately, you never really want to put that much pressure onto one player, but just by the nature of how much work he does for Alternate aTTaX, and you couple that with the fact that they're the underdogs here today, we need to see him on top form.
Yeah, of course, to find out who's going to be on top form, we have to know what maps we will be playing. And of course, the players will be going through that veto right now.
Hello?
Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey. So yeah, you guys can start whenever you want with the veto.
We start, right?
Who's beginning?
Start, right?
Maeve gets to choose who starts because he came from yesterday's match.
All right. I would like the Big Academy to start.
All right, Crimbo, you can ban first, and you guys go from there.
Yeah.
We will ban Mirage.
Okay, we are banning Dust 2.
We pick Vertigo.
All right. We pick Overpass.
So what maps are left? Inferno, Dust 2, and aTTaX is
Ancient.
picking. No, we picked Vertigo and they picked Overpass.
So you have Dust 2, Inferno, and Ancient left remaining.
Yeah. No. Yeah, no, it's right. We will ban Ancient.
Okay, we will ban Nuke. The decider should be Inferno.
What? There's double Vertigo. But it should be right.
The first ban is supposed to be Dust 2
Dust.
from Alternate aTTaX.
Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
So it's supposed to be Mirage ban, Dust ban, Vertigo pick, Overpass pick, Ancient ban, Nuke ban, Inferno decider. Thank you very much, veto done, guys. We'll catch you in the game.
All right, guys.
All right.
See ya.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Thoughts, Tyler?
It's going to be interesting. To be honest, I'm not all too sure. It isn't exactly what I expected. Sure, it should still be along kind of their strongest maps. I'd still see Vertigo and Overpass certainly being their strongest maps. Yeah, Inferno is just kind of one of those classic deciders, I guess.
Yeah,
we always see it as a decider.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's just like the stock standard, right? So, I mean, it's just become religion at this point in Counter-Strike. It's our culture. But what I will say, I'm not incredibly convinced that we're going to be even getting to Inferno, to be honest with you, mate. Considering the fact that Alternate aTTaX decided to go with the Overpass pick, I think actually really plays into the hands of Big Academy here. Big Academy... okay, no, wait. They've actually only played... I misread my numbers here. They've played it twice in the past 3 months. They did beat Spirit Academy and Enterprise on the map, both in February. So the past months, they have had some good results on the map. So it's going to be interesting. Maybe not as favored for Big Academy as I thought. But I still kind of think Ancient was probably the punish pick that we should have seen the Alternate aTTaX side go with. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah, still, whilst against international competition, it might not have been as strong an Overpass against German competition, at least, as far as I could see. It hasn't exactly been all too bad. They played it plenty of times and had good games on it, so we'll have to see how that transitions into our game. Yeah, I think it is still going to be kind of awkward, but I think these teams, didn't they even... I think they haven't met in this constellation. Sure, they probably will have pracked before, but it's been quite a while, even before the roster shift, since they've actually met. So, of course, we've talked already about the players slightly. Of course, we've highlighted a couple as well. and certainly going to be interesting to see, especially as aTTaX. They have Patrick in only as a kind of a stand-in. We'll have to see how all of that comes through.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something we've really highlighted much, I guess, because we wanted to wait until we actually got the lineups on the screen. You spoke about he's the player you're probably the most familiar with, the Grandpa. I'm going to remind everybody that that's exactly what you dubbed him. Of course, he's standing in for Zen, who was the coach previously of Alternate Attacks, but he's been brought into the playing roster in place of Cello, but he hasn't been able to make this event. So Patrick's in his seat. Patrick did perform well yesterday, but the thing is, right, as the underdog already, and now you're playing with the stand-in, I mean, it doesn't really feel like that bodes too well for their cause.
Yeah, it doesn't really work out too well. At the same time, I think he's one of those players that's kind of been around German CS for long enough that everybody has almost kind of played with him at one stage or another. Also did get a little bit of experience on higher international teams, and still it's kind of going to be interesting to see what he can bring as well. At the same time, of course, Freeze is an IGL. Interesting to see how he gets him into a role, as I think Patrick can take a couple different roles as well in his own regard. And then, of course, on the side of Big Omen Academy, these guys, they're set. They pretty much know exactly what everybody else is going to be doing. And yeah, as you said, of course, big player to highlight is going to be Prozas. I'm going to be interested in seeing how the ops battle things out as well, just because, of course, yeah, on Vertigo can certainly be a factor. I'd be expecting more from our rifles as well. At the same time, on Overpass, especially early entries, the ops can be very vital. Into Inferno as well, here and there. Although I'd have to say the 3 maps that we have are not really the most op-intensive ones.
That's a good point, actually. I wonder whose hands that's going to play into more, and you know, who relies more on their op out of both these teams. I feel like both these teams are actually more reliant on their rifles to be their stars. You know, you've got Crimbo for Big Academy, and you've got Orzek for Alternate Attack. So it's actually going to be really interesting seeing those two players going up against each other on the maps that we have in the pool here. I think out of the maps that are being played, Overpass is probably the most op intensive, and we might be seeing some cool op battles played out there. And I am looking forward to that. But just focusing a bit more on Vertigo here. Alternate Attacks, obviously it's not their map pick, but it is a map that they've played a few times in the past, like I would say actually like week or so. And they've beat One Shot, they beat Ambush, lost to Astralis Talent, and lost to EC Bruges, both in narrow matches. So it's not like this is going to be a punish pick entirely coming through from Big Academy.
No, definitely not. And at the same time, of course, sure, they could have maybe done better, but at the same time, we still know that these teams probably could have been the most closely matched, and even the ones where a final would have been even more interesting as well. Just because I'd kind of rate both of these teams as stronger than the teams on the other side of our bracket as well. And we'll have to see how they actually get on, because of course, sure, NLG up against Epic Dudes later on, if we kind of can already look ahead to that, it should be starting around 3:30, is going to be one of those games where Epic Dudes is going to be the clear underdog, I'd say. NLG is still kind of the stronger team there, and yeah, I'm just unsure if I'm pretty sure at least whoever's going to win this game is probably also going to be our favorite going into the final later on tonight. Of course, before we're actually going to be heading into the game, make sure to check out the giveaways that we have happening as well with the exclamation mark giveaway, and also, of course, find out more about our partners in the chat with their commands down below as well. And it is going to be really, really interesting to see, of course, who's going to take the bigger share of that prize pool. Of course, yes, it's only one of those, you'd say, kind of show match tournaments. It's an invitational, but at the same time, these teams have not met before. There's 4,000 euros on the line. This is not a minor thing when we're talking about, of course, German Counter-Strike tournaments. We don't have that many. Yes, we have the biggest amateur league in the world, but still, when it comes down to prize money, there could be more in the German realm.
Well, I mean, winning the game here between these two teams, that secures you some prize money at the bare minimum, right? 3,000 euros for placing first, 1,000 euros for placing second. That's the 4,000 euro prize pool in total. So winning this matchup guarantees you some cash to be taken home, which I think is always nice to, you know, have that little bit of reassurance that you're getting something from the event. But I also really agree with the sentiment that you were pointing out there. The fact that the winner of this match, I mean, should be backing themselves to win the event from here. They've definitely got the more difficult run, I suppose. You're having to play each other in the semi-final. But it'll give them a lot of confidence, whoever wins here, to go on and close the event out as well. So, I mean, this should be the most tightly contested game, which should mean we have the most entertainment as well. I'm talking overtimes, drama, clutches, heartbreak, jubilation. The full spectrum of emotions is going to be coming through in this matchup, and I'm all ready for it.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to hopefully a couple of close matches as well. Not hoping that this goes just with a quick 2-0, but at the same time, we'll have to see how both teams stack up. They should be joining onto the server at some stage soon. We did just hear the players would take a little bit longer. Yeah, exactly. It's always on us, never on the players. It's always
we just like the spotlight, Tyler.
We just do not want to jump into the game, exactly. We just much rather just chill in the studio, wait along, maybe just start a podcast right here, and pretty much go from there.
Why else would we run events if it wasn't just for screen time for ourselves here, right? Now, you know what's actually always funny with players? If the official starts at like 12 p.m., like if 12 o'clock, everyone joins the server at 12. That's like, it's not like you join 10 minutes before that to start at 12. So then you always start at 10 past 12. It's kind of the culture in Counter-Strike, and I guess competitive esports in general. So we're used to it at this point. It's okay. We still love the gamers anyway.
Exactly. And of course, it's just going to be super interesting to see what the guys can bring. Also to see, of course, how pistols are going to be impacting the game. Sure, with the situation around the past 4 or 5 years as the economy developed, pistols might not be as important anymore, but certainly can make a difference. Sure, we see it time and time again where one team wins pistol, loses the follow-up, or wins the pistol, wins 6-7 rounds in a row, and still ends up losing the half. So literally anything is still possible in that regard. I'm just hoping to see, for one part, kind of normal rounds play out, and sure, also competitive rounds play out, but I'm hoping that it won't just be deagles back and forth at every single instance.
Oh, I mean, Vertigo is one of those maps that can get dirty and grimy. We might find ourselves in the trenches here, Tyler. No promises. We might see some of that deagle warfare coming through back and forth throughout. But, I mean, I'm right there with you. I mean, yesterday, there was... You know, you don't want to if you say messy Counter-Strike, it sounds like it's, you know, he's being a bit rude, but it was just very back and forth, and some, like, a lot of rounds being lost by teams that they just shouldn't have. 5v2s, 1v3s, 2v1s, you know, making silly mistakes. And I don't know, today I feel like we're going to be just increasing the class of Counter-Strike because of these two teams going up against each other. I mean, there's some really talented individuals that we're going to have here across the board, and yeah, server's going to be stacked with skill, and I'm just so ready for it. I'm so keen. I'm ready to get into the action. Happy to be here with you as well, mate. I mean, it's been a while since we shared the microphone, so keen to call the game. Yeah,
it's going to be super interesting to see how they bunch up into our first game, of course. First semi-final of the day here in the ANATY Invitational. Alternate aTTaX up against Big Academy, and of course that will be heading into the pistol right about now. As Big Omen Academy start on the T side, aTTaX start on defense on the CT side, and we'll see where Big Omen Academy actually are going to be heading. Already a couple of players over towards ramp, Aqua in towards mid for the moment. Sky checking out what's happening towards ramp, and already here taking their time before actually going for that first peek.
Interestingly, Aqua's actually by himself here towards middle. He's got a smoke and a flash, so he's actually probably going to try and pull some rotations. Thing is, there's 3 players here from the CT side, so hopefully he's able to get his utility off before he goes down, and there we go. Combo starts to come through, and he's going to be keeping so much attention on the side of the map. There's only 1 player towards ramp, and this is fine. Even though Aqua's gone down, now it's all into Sky, and he's just going to be falling back to the site itself.
Yeah, super strong just to concede the bomb site, though, as now Crimbo's going crazy with his Glock, is going to find 2. Maeve, though, on the trades already as Sky jumps in. Double headshots from him. Patrick to find the final one. And it is going to be pistol 1 by alternate aTTaX. And you can already see in the reactions by the players, certainly happy with finding those quick headshots. They didn't really waste any time, though. The bomb wasn't planted yet. The rotation was already there and set. And they had already started retaking the site before Big Omen Academy can really get into a post-plant situation.
Yeah, I think it's actually something I've seen become more popular on the CT side pistol round of Vertigo, and it's just where you stack up with numbers towards middle, because it gives you such a quick rotation to either bomb site. You had Sky playing forward towards ramp, so he's spotting towards the bottom. He sees those players after they lose Maeve in middle, or whoever that was towards mid. All of a sudden, once Ultimates aTTaX get that frag in mid, then they know that they have to immediately rotate towards there. And like you said, they beat Big Omen to the punch. They hadn't even started the plant yet, but by the time those rotations came through, and so Big Omen Academy couldn't get back to any decent post-plant positions. They were forced to fight, and they lost the fights.
Yeah, so right now, of course, back down to Deagles. 1 P250 as well for Sin. We do see that run boost coming out and work out successfully. However, Ozek already had that on his radar.
Bye-bye.
Easy kill for him to take the first player out. Sin at least is able to recover a Deagle from that, and already Ozek just falling back, giving them space to work with. As right now, the T's still taking their time, hoping that with this boost, they might be able to find a kill. Still, Sin, the player, boosting up. Ozek, not really getting into any problems up against Crimbo just yet, but 3-4 players ready to jump up those stairs, and of course, support already coming over. The MP9 is there from Freeze as well. That should be great, just to take these T's down. And of course, right now, Patrick's actually on the MP7 close range and is going to find that first kill. Sin to drop, and players falling back, giving them space to hang themselves as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Big Academy are going to do from here. And unfortunately, in the 5v3, it is just a full save pretty much. They're going to go for the buy in the next round anyway. So it's okay if they don't get much done here. They would like to find at least a kill, and there we go. Nice shot coming through from Process. If they could find a second frag, that would be delightful, and Process, always flirting with it. In the end, he will fall victim to Freeze as well. Ultimate aTTaX with a really nice round there. They keep all 3 of their M4s in play, and they actually keep 4 players alive as well, which is going to be a nice boost to their economy heading into this first gun round.
Yeah, super important, of course, for the CTs to keep those M4s going. They will be able to upgrade one as well, as Patrick will remain on the MP7. However, the Ts, of course, are going to be heading to rifles. They do have 4 AKs alongside the Galil there for Aqua. But of course, all the utility also at their disposal. And we'll have to see what they can bring to the table now, as at least the approach play towards ramp is quick. Process actually already moving up quite nicely, dropping utility only to fall back, as the CTs aren't going to be contesting that early on. However, look at that as well. The CTs have 3 players close towards ramp and already checking in, just to make sure that they keep these Ts a little bit further back. Sky also trying to go for an angle. Ozek over towards the B-bomb site, I think, was able to find 1 kill. No, it's actually Patrick that drops. Ozek was able to trade back, yes, but of course, plenty of damage towards him as well. Down at 21 HP. Process there with the damage. Is going to find the headshot on the spray down against Sky. That is going to bring them back to a 3-on-3. Mid, Maeve drops as Aqua is down to 42. The damage is certainly dealt here on the behalf of Alternates. But of course, Ozek down at 21 himself. Freeze is going to be the player pushing in aggressively. I'm not the biggest fan of this, but he's good enough to find Process and brings it back to level numbers.
Oh man, as you say, a huge play coming through from Freeze. He's going to go for the jump spot. He hasn't seen anybody. Now he sees them both. Won't be able to make it back to the safety of the sites, and Aqua actually gets another huge kill there in the round. They will get side control as a result, and in fact, Ozek is going to be coming through with the flank here, I believe, to try and catch them from behind. Is this being considered right now is the question. Yes, Aqua's going to be checking for it, but he actually goes wide. That gives Ozek the fight. Both these players fairly low right now. Ozek worse off than Sin as he starts to close the gap and make his way towards the sites. He does just pick up a kit right now. He's got a smoke in play as well, hoping that Sin might be pushing around, but nah, Sin's just holding it right now. He's got the audio cues to play with. He's just trying to use the time as his ally here as well. And I think that there's just too much going here. I think that Ozek has to go for the gamble, drop the smoke, and stick the defuse. Maybe, just maybe, he can make it work. The problem is the lack of health is going to make this almost impossible. And there we go. Sin will just connect through the smoke.
Yeah, easy as that right now, as Big Omen Academy do win the first rifle round. However, they lost 4 players in the course of it as well. So certainly an expensive round. A round where the CTs as well will be happy to keep on forcing, because they're well aware of the economic situation on the side of the terrorists. And right now, of course, 3 Galils, 2 AKs, limited utility as well. It should be plenty enough to make an approach play towards one of these 2 bomb sites happen. but it's not going to be a general ambush across the map, as right now, again, the CT's big focus, of course, over towards the A bomb site. 3 players, very aggressive towards ramp. aTTaX did take an early gander in towards B, but right now it is just staying back as the T's seem to be approaching the A site. But of course, with those smokes down, there's little space to gain for them.
Yeah, it does look like they're still going to try and take up some forward positions here as those smokes do start to dissipate. aTTaX going to be the first man to try and create some space here, but he just gets destroyed by Maeve. So a great way for alternate aTTaX to start off this all-important 4-spy round. Whoever loses this is going to be economically shattered.
Yeah, and right now that's why it's so important they have the MP9 into an aggressive position with Sky. As long as the focus can be kept onto Freeze right now, that would be so important for them. Sky the first to drop though, as Freeze has to fall back with his Deagle. Smoke down already, but look at how quickly Prozis goes straight back up. Immediate headshot as well. Double entry from him over towards the A bomb site, and that should pretty much seal the deal that the A bomb site is going to be the target bomb site for these T's, as right now already Patrick backline with that Galil. Waiting around, smoke to be dropped towards the bomb site right now. As the push is on, Molotov is keeping Patrick back. And Sin, immediate headshot onto Maeve as well. The bomb site is theirs. No problem whatsoever. Only 2 CTs remaining. There's not a whole lot that Patrick is going to be bringing to this gunfight with the Galil. A little bit of damage. Does swing wide to find Prozis, but that's going to be it. 2 players surviving, yet again 3 kills is great. But the CTs do not have the money to keep on forcing.
Yeah, really nice fallback there from Big Academy after they lost that first pick to Maeve Scout. They were able to just group themselves up towards ramp, work their way forward. And it was really on Process's shoulders. Those 2 kills that he gets with the Galil essentially wins them the round because it's a 4 versus 2 at that point. They just group up again, rain the util into that A bomb, that A bomb site. They take full control and they convert the post plant from there as well. Notice how they're not afraid to take fights in their post plants either. You know, they're not looking to try and get back deep into the depths of ramp and alleyway. They're happy to just stand and deliver. And they've leveled up the scoreline, and they should be taking the lead here after this round.
Yeah, great response. Also just immediate Mach 10 rush in towards ramp. Perfect for Prozis as he finds 4 kills. Sure, it's only against the pistols, but still, that's $2,400 to his name. Damage up against Patrick as well. And that's pretty much going to be the round done and dusted. Wow. Sure, they lose a player, but they lose a Mach 10. Big Omen Academy could not care less. It's 3 rounds to their name, and yes, they were supposed to win that round, but you don't always see the Mach 10 find every single kill that he faces.
I mean, shout out to Crimbo for the banger flashbang that comes through there and absolutely blinds all 4 of those players. And, well, Process just ends up farming them. If there was one person on Big Academy that you wanted to get all the kills, it was that man who had the Mach 10. So, and he's the only one who went down, as you mentioned, as well. So great work, Big Academy string their 3rd round together, and it looks like they might be turning up the pace and towards the B-bomb site here.
Yeah, right now at least, Aqua already in towards ramp. Sin taking that first peek, and of course, the rifles, they're back for the CTs. They're here in position, they're waiting for boosts like this as well. As now, well aware of 2 players over towards the B-bomb site. Surely Big Omen Academy is going to be adapting to that information. aTTaX has to fall back, just slight damage onto him. But not really going to be making a difference right now. In the meantime, of course, Sky is down to 53. And over towards the A bomb site might be where Big Omen Academy actually do want to hit as well. Hyped, of course, on that AWP, but not a whole lot that he can see into that position just yet. The smoke not perfect, but certainly enough to maybe make it into a position in towards ramp, and at the same time clear out closer angles in towards ramp right now. And that seems to be their ultimate goal as the CTs have fallen back. Nice crossfire, but Sin is going to find aTTaX over towards the B bomb site, and that should be the catalyst for the rotation over towards B, as right now Sin is still fighting. 2 players here ready and waiting back onto Aircon right now. Nice headshots from him as he finds a triple. And as Patrick and Maeve drop, Freeze and Sky could already be thinking about just saving these weapons through. That seems the more likely option.
What a devastating round. Oh, man. I mean, they're going to have to eco in the next, I think. I mean, they're going to have 3 counts of round loss bonus behind them, so maybe, just maybe, they can afford to drop some guns and try and get some sort of a buy. But I just love that round from Big Academy so much. the initial control that they take towards the B stairs. They don't really take any direct fights, but they certainly make their presence known. And when they rotate back towards A ramp, they still leave Sin posted there. So it's not like they forfeit all the control that they worked so hard to take. He stays in that position, and eventually he's rewarded for his patience because that B anchor gets inquisitive, wants to play for information, and he lost his life. Sin doesn't waste any time after that, pushes straight into the B bomb side. His teammates rotate there with the bomb as well. He gets some 2 more kills, which were just absolutely fantastic shots, as you said. And Big Academy, they're just taking full control of proceedings here.
Yeah, super strong here from Sin as well. Quick headshots from him, perfect angles. And of course, all of that worked out well. 4 rounds in a row now for the T's. As soon as they've had weapons, it pretty much was one-way traffic from there on out. They have money on the side, sitting ready to go as soon as the CTs have a chance to get back into the game. But right now, aTTaX, of course, 3 Deagles, a FAMAS, the M4. Of course, those 2 weapons were saved from the previous. Have to see. Certainly, Deagle's still always dangerous. Flashbang in towards ramp. The players are close. Crimbo deals damage in towards mid as well, making sure that he has control of the map as well, so to make sure that's a little bit safer for the rest of his team to join him if they so want. Timing is going to be super crucial here for Maeve. He actually has a gap, does find a kill onto Crimbo, a second onto Aqua, and all of a sudden the Deagles are here! And Hayes! This is exactly what we were talking about in the pre-game, waiting for Deagles to just cause havoc. And sure, the T's can still bring this back. Never underestimate Hyped and Prozus. But the T's have a prime opportunity to steal this round away.
At least they've got the bomb with them here. They can maybe still make a play over towards the B bomb side, but all of these CTs are still positioned over on the side of the map as well, so they're very ready to welcome Big Academy with open arms. Patrick gets another frag. Oh my god, it's only process left remaining, and he hasn't even been able to get a trade off the bat, so this is a mission impossible, and there we go. Job is done. Eco round successful for Ultimate aTTaX, and they keep 4 players alive. They pick up AKs. No, they're laughing all the way to the bank, quite literally.
Yeah, the big part, of course, for Big OMEN Academy is the fact that they were able to win 4 rounds in a row. The previous 2 were certainly clear in that regard as well. So they were at least able to build up a little bit of bank on the side. They had well over $7,000 on every single player. So, of course, that is going to mean they're going to have everything at their disposal right now, and then some still on the side for that next round. Nice little flashbang. Sin is able to find the first. Almost finds a second as well. The spray down does come through after all. The flashbangs were nice by Crimbo. Nothing that Ozek and Patrick can do over towards that B site. Proza seemed to have been well aware of Sky as well. Saw him slightly. The next spray down is also not a problem. From winning around on Deagles to having everything you want on the CT side to just not even finding one single kill at this stage. Maeve is going to be on a rotate over towards A. Let's be honest, Big right now have the whole map under control, and it's nice that production is telling us that aTTaX are only 13 rounds away. But yeah, let's be honest, Big, they're only 11 rounds away.
Yeah, that's a better number to choose, man. I mean, there we go, as we can see on the wall in there, spawn. Just in case we forget, you know, sometimes maths is hard, so they help us out with that one. What a round from Sin again, just getting in position. Those 2 kills immediately open up the round. And as you say, devastating scenes for Ultimate aTTaX, who win the round with the Desert Eagles and immediately afterwards can't even get a single kill. And it just feels like Big Academy are in complete control. And something I want to point out is that Crimbo only has 2 kills. He's the star player on this Big Academy team right now, and he's not even being called into action because everybody else is just performing so well, which means that, you know, they still have more gears to fall back on if Ultimate aTTaX, you know, continue to show fights. And I just think that things are looking pretty grim right now for the CT side. Early days, but I'm a bit concerned.
Yeah, they've been working with that one-way smoke a couple of times now already. This time Freeze isn't going to be peeking as wide. He always just goes for that slight jump peek. And then, of course, just drops the Molotov down. Makes sure that the T's have to go a gear lower, have to go a little bit slower right now. As to right now. Aqua just waiting in towards mid as well, has spotted a player. Patrick, well aware of this as well, but at the same time, much rather have an AK in this sort of battle, especially as Aqua seem to have had the better angle. They trade about 1-to-1 when it comes down to damage, 32-34 at the end. But of course, over towards the A bomb site, Crimbo has found that nade kill already onto Sky. And right now, the T's are taking more and more property over towards a bomb site. Patrick has rotated over. But of course, they're still just waiting, getting everybody into position so that they can strike. Freeze gets flashed in, but can't take full advantage of it. Proses to find Patrick. And right now, Freeze in a great position, but only finds one. 30 seconds still to go. And Ozek and Maeve, well, they're smoked off for the moment. And might be better dealt to try and save these weapons through. Right now, the T's yet again have the Molotovs down. Sure, the nade does plenty of damage for Ozek, but time is going to be a problem. Not a defuse kit there. And it is a 4-on-2, so they're going to end up saving. 6 rounds now for Big Omen Academy. Of course, covering the exits of that bomb site. But everything pretty clear that Big will retreat towards ramp.
Yeah, big round coming through from Big here once again, just, you know, methodically, systematically working their way forward as a unit, looking for the kills, isolating the fights. Maybe we'll get a consolation frag, but that's all there is, and at this point it doesn't affect Big Academy at all. It feels like alternate tactics are a little bit disjointed on the A side right now, with Freeze playing so far in towards that smoke. Look at the position that Patrick's in. I mean, he's just in no man's land. It's not a fight that you want to take with the FAMAS against an AK that's swinging on you. No support anyway from Connector or Heaven either. So alternate tactics, it just feels like, you know, that they're not in control at all on the CT side. They're just kind of being conditioned by the T side, and yeah, it's looking rough. Big Academy feels like they've found their footing in heaps right now here on the C side.
Yeah, Ozek right now going super aggressive on the other side of the smoke with that M4, but of course he's going to be stuck there. Well aware they heard that drop happen, and he's actually trying to get into a stronger position for himself as well. The T's are giving him that space to do so. So everything fine for the moment, but the damage is already dealt. Freeze is down to 53, Ozek down to 39. He might want to find one of his teammates to actually change out the weapons. Patrick has gone aggressive and could be coming in from behind. Nobody has him on their radar. Crimbo's not checking back just yet. Aqua is. And this is all going to come down to timing. Who's quicker on the trigger, and it seems to be Aqua to find that first kill. Not really a whole lot of damage dealt either. And Sky is pushed back by the Molotov now as well. As Big, yet again, just taking their time, not overestimating themselves.
He's got no business in holding the front, right, with 2 teammates there already, so is the logical thing to do. And stack for the CT side over on the A side of the map. That means that they are not going to be able to contest the initial side take. Maybe a crack at the retake here, considering it is just an eco. And Maeve has got a kill back in the round as well.
Yeah, and right now, of course, the CTs, they're still going to be trying. There's not a whole lot to lose for those players, especially on the Deagles. Right now, though, Crimbo close range there on the AK. And sure, they will be losing one more player.
Alright, I mean, another kill. At least Maeve will be able to save his AWP here. It does have to fight to take it into the next round, but it is looking successful at least. I mean, the problem is that alternate tactics were up 2-0 at one point, which means they've only won 1 of the past 8 rounds, and that is not boding well for their cause at all. Is their opponent's map pick? But things have been looking really bleak here in the gun rounds for the CT side.
Yeah, just the fact that they've been playing the same system over and over again, not really reacting to it, and at the same time, of course, Big, they're not playing the same every single time. Sure, they're playing a similar default, but they also have sometimes where individual players have started going a little bit more aggressive and setting their team up for success. So right now, actually, look at this pace over towards ramp as well. The initial push is there, the flash doesn't quite work out, but the damage there should have been for Freeze. What did he hit? 7 HP, 14 HP maybe? But that was probably more down to a couple of nades as well. And it seemed like all of his bullets just went flying, but nowhere near any of the Big Omen Academy players.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea. It does look like there's going to be some re-aggression coming through from the CT side here. And getting some information, but look at Aqua. Is he going to be considered? Looks like they've bypassed him, but he doesn't actually realize that they've walked past him. So Freeze will be able to get the frag for free. Big nade, wow. That does some chunky damage to a couple of these T players now. And also, alternate attacks realize what's going on. They've rotated their players across. They should be in a great position to convert this round.
Yeah, 4 right now, though. Sin. Close range already. As soon as Ozek moves, he'll be dead, and he is. Right now, as another smoke drops from the CT, giving them a little bit of space, and Patrick actually is going to find one, and the second there, assisted for the kill for Sky. It's now all down to Crimbo, his time to shine. As we're still waiting for him to be the shining star that he really is. Push coming out from the CT's, Sky will find that final headshot. We do have to say the rounds that aTTaX were able to win seem to have been quite clear in their own right. But still, every single time, Big came back stronger after losing a round as well.
Yeah, what was really nice about that round was how aTTaX actually had the balls to go for the retake towards ramp. They didn't just forfeit that control and then sit in the sites and, you know, give Academy free reign over on that side of the map. After the Big Academy kind of goes quiet, they decide to re-aggressive with a couple of players. They get all their control. They get the kill on Aqua. They see no further presence, so they realize that they have to be hitting that B site, drop the util, rotates accordingly, and aTTaX get across the line. How many rounds do you think they need here on the CT side, Tyler?
9? Probably.
Okay, well that's not possible anymore.
Yeah.
So
it is going to be really, really tough. Because I still feel like Vertigo is one of those maps where you'd rather start on the CT side. You'd rather start defending rather than attacking. And right now, of course, those kind of rules that kind of work in international CS usually don't work for German teams. So I'm ready for them to just win 13 rounds in a row, even though that's not even possible anymore. But German teams can do it. Believe me.
You've seen some
right
crazy
now,
things in your time, hey?
Yeah, exactly. So,
yeah.
Literally everything's doable. I had my starts not in international CS, but in German CS. And Aqua right now, no scoping onto Freeze, who is super aggressive as well. Sure, the advantage is there, but look at the pace that he's working with right now. Just quickly over towards the A bomb site. The rest of his team is over towards B. He doesn't care. Unfortunately, loses the battle up against Maeve. However, we know that these two guys, Sin and Crimbo, they can still hit headshots. Sin has certainly shown that today. Crimbo, not really on his ace today. As Patrick finds the final 2 kills, aTTaX, nice to see them getting rounds together. And who knows, the lead into halftime could still be possible.
Yeah, that's true. In fact, I wonder if the T side even going to go for a buy here. There's a couple individuals who can't afford a buy. I think 2 players to be precise. They might just go for a half buy, which means we could see aTTaX reduce the deficit to just 1 round here in the game. And indeed, it does look like they're going to be ecoing. Well, we've got to pause here, so they could still change that up. Shout out to Patrick. He's up to 10 kills right now. Top of the server for aTTaX, at least. You know, just following Process and Sun, who have 13 and 11 kills, respectively. But it feels like the game's starting to heat up here. aTTaX are warming up to the occasion.
Yeah, looking forward to see what they can do now. Certainly have the weaponry there. Everybody's on AKs. They have the AWP. They have the utility as well. Everybody has a kit, so even then you can go for late pushes on towards the bomb site. It should quite comfortably be, well, 6 rounds right now, as Big OMEN Academy don't really have the money onto everybody. They're just going to be chilling, grabbing a couple of pistols, grabbing a couple of Deagles and Tech 9s, and seeing what they can bring. 2 Tech 9s, 2 Deagles, and a Glock. Certainly hyped to see what they can bring together on that. First player is Aqua in towards mid. No damage dealt just yet. Only the op of Maeve to drop back, and Ozek also super aggressive in towards the B bomb site. Seems like Big OMEN Academy don't really want anything here. They want to head over towards A, and right now Maeve finding Aqua in mid is very important. Sin, though, finds Sky. Will that A bomb site crumble? Double kill to Freeze as well. That's 2 weapons recovered for the T's right now. And sure, Maeve is still holding on to this. It's a 3-on-3. Super crucial! The Deagle is there for hyped. And a bomb plant comes through. I was saying this should be a comfortable round for aTTaX, but no. Big OMEN Academy seem to only need Sin. And that's it.
Oh my god, how have they gotten so many of these frags to get themselves in this position right now? This is outrageous. Ozek is going to go down to the AWP. Big Academy, they win the round and they keep 3 players alive. That was the eco, for God's sake. there was so much damage done initially with that skirmish towards ramp. It still felt like even though alternate aTTaX were down numerically, that they would still be able to convert that 2 versus 3 retake, especially considering that they were both coming from, opposite angles. I thought they could close the walls in on Big Academy and just find those low HP players. But Sin, what a beast. This guy's having an insane performance right now. I think up to 14 frags. Yeah, he's 14 and 6. Himself and Process have 27 frags between the two of them. That's a lot of kills, man.
Yeah, and that's the point. The rest of the team doesn't need to show up if those two do. Hyped, I think, with a big flick. We might see that in replay. As right now, Freeze the first to drop. Maeve at least there with a response onto Hyped. The lead into halftime is already secured for Big Omen Academy. But right now, of course, the CT is still trying to recover into this round. Ozek to find the kill onto Aqua. Doesn't take any damage from those nades as right now. The T's also taking their time, rotating back, it seems like, over towards the A-bomb site. How aggressive have the CTs gone? Where is the player hiding? Usually it was Freeze the one to actually push in aggressively. He's already down. So that might be one worry less that they have. But right now, of course, just bunching up together in towards ramp. The AWP is still there. Can maybe grab one kill, but not with the smoke down as it is there. Rotation already happening. The support over towards the A-bomb site is going to be there. 40 seconds. Maeve going for that flashbang now. Buys him a little bit more time. The Molotov is just slightly too late. The T's are already on the move. They're getting ever closer, bit by bit. Flashbangs now coming out.
Yeah, making their way forward. Going to try and get the execute through with the man down. Process playing around the fringe of the smoke. But, Patrick just drops the hammer on both him and Sin. It's only Crimbo left remaining, but he just doesn't have time. Even if he gets this kill, he's just going to be looking to try and save the AWP. That's the only choice he has, is to take that sniper into the next round. Well done by alternate aTTaX. I mean, they initially just got that one-man advantage, which meant that Big Academy didn't really have many options, right? They had to just kind of group up and try and make their way forward. Hope to win some gunfights to open up the site, but it doesn't work out in their favor at all. Patrick has just rotated through perfectly in time to join up that defense on the A side of the map, and we get to see Hype shot. Oh my god, he was taking damage, at that point, so the fact that he hits the shot is crazy. And here's Patrick having some big impact as well.
Yeah, so we're back into a back and forth right now, and of course the T's, usually the teams to actually find help from that, but of course right now everybody still had enough money in the bank. It's the last round of the first half. Will we see an 8-7 as close as it can be, or a 9-6? It's still a very close first half here on map 1. Of course, Big Omen Academy's map pick here on the T side as well, finding the advantage on Vertigo. So it is pretty much the best chances that they're going to get right now. And of course, Maeve already down to 45. Prozis has taken damage in the meantime as well. Maeve has to fall back in mid. Can go for a re-peek even though he's smoked off.
I feel like Maeve has been doing a wonderful job in this half with that AWP towards middle so far. He's been consistently finding kills and also just keeping good control.
Yeah, and it's been quite a while as well since Aqua has had any sort of impact from mid. He had maybe 1 or 2 rounds where it was instrumental that he was in that position, but then also, of course, losing the fight earlier up against Patrick. That was very aggressive. But, yeah, had to fall back from it. Flashbang coming in for Sky. He's going to get a kill for free. Gets traded, though. And that's the most important part here. Crimbo, quick response. Doesn't take any time to get straight back on. And, of course, Freeze. He's going to be close. He's going to be trying to go aggressive. That battle not won just yet. Still going on. The chase is on. They walk past each other and still Aqua comes out on top. Prozis in the meantime finds Maeve. The boost is nice for Ozek. And Patrick through the smoke also finding another kill. It's 2-on-2 all of a sudden. And still Crimbo is there. Aqua as well. It's 9-6.
Alright, well, I think that Big Academy are going to be really relieved that they're actually able to win 2 of the last 3 rounds. I mean, they were sitting really comfortably at 7-3, dominating majority of the gun rounds. They then slipped up a bit and, it got back pretty close. It was a 1-round game at 6-7. There was a chance alternate aTTaX could even finish the half ahead, but Big Omen Academy put their big boy pants back on and get themselves across the line. 9-6, yeah, I think Big will definitely be the happy of the 2 teams, but I would still say that this map is open-ended right now. I'm not going to be counting alternate aTTaX out by any stretch of the imagination.
No, I love the fact as well that everything right now here on the server is very, very closely matched. Yes, of course, you have a bigger delta between players like Sin and Prozis back down towards Hyped, and the same situation between Patrick, Maeve, and then down to Freeze. But it's very comparable on both sides. You have two players that are into the double digits already that have had a very, very strong performance, and then one player on each team that's kind of been lagging behind slightly, but nothing to cause any alarm just yet.
Yeah, that's a really good comparison that you draw. It's actually very balanced in that regard from both of these teams. Pistol round's quite big here as well, I think, Tyler. You know, the fact that if Big win this pistol round and they're on their comfortable CT side of their map pick as well, probably back them majority of the time to go on and close the map out from there as the favorites. However, if also it's aTTaX to win the pistol round and in that first gun round, all of a sudden, you know, there's certainly going to be pressure back on the bigger academy team. Does look like there's a lot of utility that's been brought up here by the T side.
Yeah, and aTTaX, the most important part for them, of course, is winning the pistol, seeing if they can have that as a catalyst, win a couple of rounds in a row, bring it back to a level score, and then just keep going. Keep the CT economy on edge, keep them struggling, and then you can make things really, really interesting. As we venture up that crane and the game is still paused, yeah, I was thinking maybe we can grab a little bit of a barbecue. It's around lunchtime right now. The game has certainly heated up already, and we'll be looking to see how that continues.
How do they get that up there, Tyler?
With the crane.
No, but how does the crane put it on itself?
It's easy. You just have that crane line as close to the base as possible, and then just lift it up, and then pull it in to that platform. Easy as that. Professional crane operator at your service.
What don't you do, Tyler?
It's a good question.
Call this man Johnny Sins, for God's sake. He does
one
it
thing that I
all.
don't do is play CS well, so there you go. That's the reason why you have to deal with me being on the mic.
Yeah, there's a reason where the casters and not the players. That's true. Oh, God. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll be getting into the second half here soon enough. Welcome, everybody. Day 2, round 2 of the ANATY Invitational. Essentially, the first semi-final here is this game. Big OMEN Academy directly invited to the stage of the competition. Ultimate aTTaX had to overcome Ryzen, but they did that with the 16-2, 16-4 to book themselves to the stage right here, right now. And Big Academy, well, they're looking pretty.
Yeah, and of course, right now, we're ready for that second half to get underway. Let's see what the CTs can bring on their own map pick. Big OMEN Academy certainly have the lead for the moment. But of course, we are in the best of 3. Anything is possible. Overpass is going to be coming up next after this one. But right now, we've still got up to 15 rounds to decide who actually wins map number 1. Big OMEN Academy already seem well aware of aTTaX over in towards ramp. But right now, still giving them plenty of space. The nades in behind sandbags, in behind concrete, doesn't really do too much.
Does look like Ultimate aTTaX going to try and finish over on the safe side. Smoke starts to come in. It's just going to be the stock standard wall. Probably see the bomb plant with all 10 players still alive on the server, and it's going to have to be a retake for the CT side. They do have util though, so they've been prepared for this. They've even got the kids in play as well.
Oh, I love that. They fake out the bomb plant, wait out the nades, and then now go for the bomb plant instead. Still, Maeve drops into his ramp. Sin is there. Aqua's already close range. Him on the USP isn't quite working out just yet, but he does find a double in quick succession. Nobody else is checking him, and that's how we retake the A bomb site if you're Big OMEN Academy. I'm unsure of how that just happened. Aqua's some kind of a beast.
Yeah, I think there's a reason
I'm just ready to accept it.
I think there's a reason he wasn't really smiling after getting that sequence. He almost knows, like, I don't know if I completely deserve that. I mean, it took him so long to get that first kill, and then afterwards he just immediately mops up the 3 frags. Great retake from Big Academy. Won it all thanks to their little artillery strike that came through there with the nades, but Aqua just gets 3 sick frags, man. Great shots. Great shots, and that's problematic for aTTaX here, man, because they're on the unfavored side on their opponent's map pick, and they're down 10-6. They do go for a force buy here, interestingly enough. I mean, I suppose they got the bomb plant, so it's a pretty massive thing to do. Galil's in play, utility as well, but lose this, and it's going to be 12-6 before they get to buy again.
Pre-firing through the scaffolding here already, dealing a little bit of damage as well. Certainly is dangerous here. Territory for the boost for these Ts. The Molotov is at least going to be dealing damage onto Freeze, but he's quick to react with that smoke as well. Everything fine.
It's their only smoke, though, which does kind of suck.
Yeah. There's now 3 flashbangs, a nade and a Molotov to work with. Not a whole lot. Ozek with that nade and Molotov is over towards the B bomb site as well, is expending his utility over towards that side of the map. Now, of course, not exactly the best move when you don't have the support structure or even the will to go over towards that bomb site for the moment. Proza still close range. Excuse him not having an M4 in hand, but of course, it's there on the server. He finds a headshot immediately. Sky is there for a trade. They can pick up the rifle as well if they so want, and Crimbo does find one. Otherwise, he would have been a dead man standing anyways in that position. 3 against 3 as Patrick is down to 9 HP. A little bit more damage onto Sky as well in comparison to Aqua right now, and the headshot is there from the MP9. Sin trying to further aggress here with the MP9 as well. The trade is there for Hyped, and sure, they do lose a lot of players. The bomb plant hasn't come through just yet though. 10 seconds to do so, and Aqua should be able to deny. They're unaware of his position. He doesn't actually go for the peek. He's expecting a default plant, but that doesn't happen. Gets greeted by the back of Sky, and that's the easiest shot you're ever going to hit.
Isn't that such an amazing feeling though, when you're like in a 1 versus 1 and the guy just like backs up straight into you and you don't even have to do anything to win the round. It's just gifted to you. I mean, it's unfortunate for Sky. I'm surprised that he is so set on the fact that the CT had to be retaken from ramp, and he doesn't even consider maybe just checking it as he falls back. Either way, I mean, there was some nice fights won initially by the T side. A good attempt at the clutch, but yeah, Big Academy get across the line against Force Spy. We will see another Force Spy coming through in response, however. Yeah, and I don't really mind this decision from Alternate Attacks. You know, if they can win this, they kind of just accelerate their way back into the comeback. However, it's a high risk, high reward buy here.
Yeah, and right now, of course, as you said, the risk is high. It would be great for them to win it, but I don't really see it happening. The CTs seem quite comfortable. Yes, of course, they're also strung very, very tight when it comes down to money still in their pockets right now, so they needed to decide to keep 3, 4, even 5 players alive in a perfect world. Right now, Freeze is already down to 3 HP. Ozek is down to 42. And of course, the push is not really coming through just yet. Aqua is ready and waiting for them to push in, but the first customer will be Hyped as 3 players will be here to meet him. Close damage for the MP9. Nice for him to find a double. If they only lose an MP9, it'd be great, but right now already Aqua drops as well. Sin finds Patrick, and it's all down to Freeze. 3 HP as we said at the start. And I guess losing an MP9 and a rifle would be fine. Crimbo finds that nade, and that's it. 12-6. It's rough right now for aTTaX.
Yeah, it is. Big Academy will definitely take that. Like you say, you know, 2 players, you know, to win the round against a Force Buy. Yeah, no problem at all. Hype's going to end up buying another MP9 because now he knows they have to go for the eco. So that's kind of just the risk, you know, that was the high risk we were referring to. Lose that Force Buy, and now your gun round in the half has been delayed by a round. It's going to be 13-6 before they get their first full gun round. And when you consider the fact that Big Academy are the favorites here on their map pick on the CT side, I mean, I would kind of always back them to close out a 13-6 scoreline on Vertigo when they've got economic control as well on their CT side. So it's going to be, you know, it would be an astounding comeback if Alternate aTTaX were able to win the game from this position, win the map, should I say.
Yeah, and of course right now, sure, the Deagles are there and we've seen them have success on this map before. Just don't see it happening right now. The CTs, yet again, are quite close. Crimbo is super dangerous in his own right. Prozis is now starting to kind of fall back, and still he goes for a kill there. Finds it as well. That's the advantage that you wanted. Crimbo follows it up. I'm not sure if that's the right call, as Patrick is now able to find a kill onto Crimbo. Prozis just about retreats into this position. There is a Molotov to try and force him out if they do want to check it. Patrick is dropped though, and sure, the trade is there, but that's fine for the moment, as long as it's no more losses. The MP9 is here as well. Aqua struggling still to find that final kill, but it will be fine. They will be able to recover rifles. And of course, predominantly onto AKs now as well. 2 AKs in the mix. 13-6 as you already predicted. And now the first gun round for the T's. This has to be a very one-sided one to really make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, have a look at the numbers for Alternate aTTaX, man. 19 kills on Patrick, 6 on Freeze, 9 on Orzek, 11 on Sky, 12 on Maeve. The stand-in is doing majority of the heavy lifting right now. And they find themselves with the round in which it's do or die. There's no two ways about it. That HE grenade, oh, it does 45 points of damage to Orzek. He's had a tough time so
Look at the
far.
aggression yet
Yes,
again.
Crimbo
Crimbo's through.
Oh, boy. Normally he's the one throwing the flashes. This time he says, process, return the favor for a change. And unfortunately, he loses his life.
Yeah, Freeze as well finding Prozus, the early advantage that aTTaX were certainly looking for, hyped to find Sky. Pretty well aware that a player could have slipped through towards a bomb site already. Freeze is going to find that kill as now the CTs are stripped low. 2 players still in towards mid and B. And of course Aqua is expecting players to be checking in towards mid as well. Would be great for Sin to be alongside his position. But especially Freeze is wrapping around and will be quite dangerous. There's no information just yet, and of course Sin might just give that away for free. He does. Freeze. Kill is his. Aqua can still hold on for 1. Might even find a second. Good for Maeve to fall back. Just has to make it outside of that bomb radius as well at 16 HP. Has to make the distance. Orzek though. Make sure that the bomb isn't going to explode to take out any of his teammates. It's exactly what the T's needed. Keep players alive, bring the CTs down low, don't give them any kills. And now is their chance to get rounds in a row.
Great round coming out of Freeze, it must be said. I mean, taking that initiative towards ramp to get that first kill and on Crimbo, where I suppose Crimbo is the one who pushes through the smoke, and it's an initial punish from Freeze, and then after that, he makes the play of his own, gets process, but he doesn't stop there either, keeps going in towards the side, gets the AWP as well, and then he catches the player all the way on the B bomb site. So a really big round coming through from Freeze there. I mean, he's been quiet so far here on Vertigo, but that was a big round out of him, and now it'll be an eco for the CT side.
Yeah, and still in that regard, 3 USPs, a big stack for them. Over for Crimbo on the Deagle, a P250 on the other side of the map for Prozus. Actually, he's in towards scaffolding as well. I thought that he was over towards the B bomb site, but no, he's also headed towards Aqua, drops on B. So that's pretty much going to be the decisive call. Freeze is still kind of lurking towards the A site. Would be great for that boost to come to fruition, for them to at least find 1 kill, maybe recover a weapon, maybe even find 2, we never know. And at least now that Molotov is going to keep Prozus back, gives Freeze a little bit more space to work with. How can they react? 4 players there ready and waiting. That nade could be great, but it's too deep, as now they push in towards ramp. Sky finds 1, well aware now of the situation. The bomb is actually towards A, and don't tell me to turn this around. Op recovered for Hype, the perfect player for it. Prozus finds Sky with his pants down. Nade in hand, AK recovered. The Deagle is there for Crimbo. What are we seeing, Hayes? Hype to find Orzek. And all down to Patrick in a 1v2. 20 seconds still to go. And no way this is happening. No way do they find the kill over towards the B bomb site. Had it all
Crimbo's
clear
gonna beat him.
And go
Crimbo's
over
get
towards
there
A.
Patrick.
And that's the point.
It's
Crimbo
done.
is here. No chance for a bomb plant. And Big Omen Academy win the round against all odds here.
How on earth have they been able to make that one happen? They had mere pistols. It was USPs. The stack didn't even get a kill. They were all looking the wrong way when there was the player coming through from Ali onto that A bomb side. They just decide to swing ramp with numbers. The 4 players swing in tandem together. They do get that 1 kill onto Sky. Process catches Freeze, as you rightly said, with his pants around his ankles. Then the AWP for Hype gets in on the act. They just keep rolling through with kill after kill. Alternate aTTaX could never regain their composure. They keep taking individual fights to try rescue the situation, but it just leaves them in a worse off position each time, and they have to full invest off the back of that. But man, that's just an impossible round to come back from. Surely that should be the job done for Big Academy on here on Vertigo.
Yeah, and that's one of those rounds as well that breaks you mentally in a game, because of course that was your round all the way. 1 wrong call and it all gets turned upside down. Initial damage slightly onto Freeze and Orzek thanks to the nades. Not really into headshot potential for the M4s just yet. Those are still work cut out for the M4A1S. However, Freeze is going to be the first player to face. Prozus certainly taking his time. That smoke is going to give them more coverage. Freeze pushes past. Pros is only mere feet away from that kill. It is going to be Crimbo to actually drop first as he tries to find some kind of control right now. Prozis has to be aware Freeze in that position. The check comes through, but the double kill and the spray down. Prozis, you're not supposed to be staying in the round like that. Up to 20 kills now. As Maeve gets flashed, he's going to be checked. Damage. Prozis still in a great position. He's going to find a third for the round. Back to a 2-on-2.
Check the time.
Yeah, and that's it.
20 seconds left remaining, and Hype's got the kill. Maeve is the only one left. He can't get the bomb. There's no way to win this out. It's done. Process, you absolute hero. Give that guy a Medal of Honor. He is insane. That was a 5 versus 3 ultimate aTTaX. Found those initial 2 kills. Maeve is going to go down here as well. They get the first 2 kills. They get themselves a big advantage. It's only Process left on the side of the map, but just completely blinded up. He holds down the line, holds down mouse button 1, and he gets 2 kills as a result. That's when you're on LAN and you're just looking at your teammate's screen next to you to see their kill feed, to see if you actually get the frags. Not only once he got his vision back, we did realize, but he wasn't even done there yet. He still got a 3rd frag, Tyler.
Yeah, what a crazy round. What a dominant showing in the second half here by Big Omen Academy. Remember, of course, this game went into halftime pretty close. But since then, Big Omen Academy firmly in the driver's seat on their own map pick. Sin already opening up scoring here up against Ozek, looking for more through that smoke. Here's Prozis, but right now, T's certainly going to be affected by that Aqua to trade back onto Freeze. The advantage keeps going for the CTs. Sure, Crimbo is going to be dropping. That Molotov is strong for Aqua, though. Gives him more control towards that side of the bomb site. Sky is down to 49 himself. Great stuff by Hypes.
Yeah. Tries to find the follow-up, but he's not able to. It does look like Sky has to double down, but he will fall as well. 2 versus 1. Patrick, the standing left remaining. He's been the shining light for aTTaX so far here on the map, and he's going to try and clutch this one out to keep them alive, but unfortunately, he won't be able to. Sin takes the initiative, jumps up onto the default boxes, gets the kill, seals the deal. What a result for Big Academy, dominating proceedings on their CT side.
Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff there on map number 1. Not sure how that all came to go. But of course, crazy on the pistols, miscommunication probably on the side of aTTaX, not really too sure they had that kill, were expecting a rotation. But of course, Big Omen Academy, they did so much just to keep going. And it was a gamble, but a gamble that worked out, a gamble that won them around, and already had a premature decision to the end of map 1.
Yeah, I mean, comfortable, comprehensive victory in the end for Big Academy. You know, the favorites here in this matchup. They take the 1-0 lead into their opponent's map pick of Overpass. You know, we've spoken a bit about Overpass already, how it's a map that Big Academy do play. You saw some of the results in the German league there as well. They've had some pretty good results. You know, I think they've won 3 out of the 4 games they played this year. And it means that ultimate aTTaX haven't got themselves a punish pick, or it's a pick here where their opponents are going to be in some unfamiliar territory or anything like that. So 2-0 could still be on the cards here.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to see how that gets to go on Overpass. Of course, the map pick of alternate aTTaX, that'll be happening after our break. So we'll be back in about 10 minutes time or so. Grab a drink, grab a snack, because this game is still heating up for that spot about prize money and also the grand final.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the ANATY Invitational. We are here with day number 2 and the first semi-final. It is a match that's, well, we're in the middle of proceedings right now. First map has just concluded, and it went the way we expected at the end of the day, Tyler. You know, maybe we would have wanted to be a bit more a little bit more competitive, perhaps was a bit more one-sided than we would have anticipated, but Big Academy just looked really good. And based on the form we've seen out of them recently, I think that is kind of how we thought they would play. Ultimate's aTTaX now on Overpass, though. Can they turn this around?
I think there's always a chance, certainly when you see these two teams, but at the same time, of course, we saw it just now on the server. It didn't really come down to just map preference. You said it during the break as well, that it felt more like it was literally just kind of men against boys. Sure, it was maybe not as one-sided. The second half certainly was. But yeah, it's just here and there, a couple of mistakes, surely on the side of Big OMEN Academy. Other times, they were insane with their decision-making. Big balls just to stay over towards the A bomb site, whilst your player on B has fallen. You don't really have anything to go on, but it all worked out in the end. aTTaX pretty much out-bamboozled themselves, and then walked straight into a trap. Didn't really have the numbers there, walked in one by one, gave up easy fights, and that is what ultimately brought Big to such a quick conclusion on map 1. At the same time, we know that both maps can play our second map here.
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing, right? It's not like this is going to be a punish pick or anything like that, and we are going to be shifting this into the game here already. So I am just so excited to feast on this matchup. The entertainment, hopefully, yeah, going to be. You know what? Listen, there was the entertainment comes in different shapes and forms, right, Tyler? The entertainment from the previous game was just seeing how well Big Academy were playing. Process in prime form, their entry fragger just charging in. Got great support there from Grimbo's flashes. You know, had Sin who was performing at a really high level, landing some nutty shots. So that was the entertainment we saw in the first map. I want to see some competitive Counter-Strike. I want to see some back and forth plays. I want to see some clutches. I want to see some pressure building up. And let's see if Ultimate's aTTaX can answer back, because remember, it's a single elimination competition here. This is a semi-final. You lose this, you're out, and you don't get any money either.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how they're all going to progress. Who can start things off strong on to Overpass, especially in our pistol round. Of course, we did split pistols on map 1. Both times the CT sides ended up winning. But of course, Big didn't really seem too phased after losing pistol on the T side. As soon as they had weapons, they seemed to almost be unstoppable. So it's time for map number 2. Big OMEN Academy up against alternate aTTaX, heading in to map number 2 now. Map pick for aTTaX, and starting on the T side, let's see where they want to go. Usual German strategy would be to go towards long or even in towards connector. We'll have to see, as two players already heading in towards monster. And two players into mid as well. They're actually quite split up. The bomb is in front of the B site. Maeve with that P250 is in towards mid. But look at what Big are doing. Straight through long. Aqua drops Maeve. Aqua finds a second as well. Yet again, the USP seems to be his game, as Sin single headshot onto Ozek. What is even happening in this pistol?
I mean, Big Academy have just completely pulled the scaffolding out from underneath Ultimate's aTTaX with the aggression that they pull through towards long, get themselves those kills courtesy of Aqua, and then they just clean up over in the B-bomb side as well. It's going to be Sin who finishes with 3. Himself and Aqua get all 5 frags in the round. I do like that aggression from Aqua to get that information early on. Backs himself to take that long-range fight with the USP. Look at the second kill here, Tyler. The first one is a little bit messy. The second frag is just gorgeous. And then Sin says, all right, well, I'm going to raise you a 3-piece. You know, something that you did mention that I also want to touch on here is the fact that also aTTaX picked the map, and that means that it's Big Academy who have the choice of sides. So they've just come off the back of, what, a 16-7 win on Vertigo, and now they get to start on the favored side of Overpass as well. You know, they're just going to continue to ride that wave of momentum, and it could get messy here for alternate aTTaX.
Yeah, and of course, right now for Big, yet again, they have the SMGs out. Sure, 2 M4s and a FAMAS in that mix as well. Crimbo's taking a lot of damage. Is able to return the favor with a nade onto Maeve, but at the same time now, they just have to shut this down. It's not happening. Glocks get a kill against the MP9. Sin finds a double, though. Crimbo drops. That's the problem. There's an MP9 now out, but that will be able to get shut down. They do lose an M4 and a FAMAS into that round. MP9 able to get through into the next. Yeah, not exactly the best, but I guess it works out. At the end of the day, I mean, you can be happy with it, but you did lose too many players.
Yeah, I think Ultimate aTTaX are probably the happier of the two teams at the end of that round, considering they barely invested anything into it. It's Flocks that get the kills, and so at least they force a couple rebuys and look at the money on the CT side. If they lose this first gun round, then they're broken. Same you could say for the Ultimate aTTaX team, but yeah, that means this is in the balance right now, and look at the aggression.
Yeah, not the biggest fan. The flashbang works out for Sky as he finds a kill onto Sin. I think it was his own flashbang as well that actually got him to that point. And of course, after losing one player, the rest of the players already falling back. This will get together. Patrick will lose up against Hype. They know a player is still in towards Connector, and he can also be a thorn in their side, especially now as they're pushing up. Smoke down towards a bomb site. Crimbo in trouble because now there's a two-pronged attack happening from Banana and also from Long. I'm actually surprised about the fact that Maeve fell back. Aqua is able to trade back onto Ozek. But right now, Hype's still kind of holding back, not going for it. Crimbo's super aggressive and actually gets away with it.
They've actually salvaged the situation. Big Academy have got themselves a man advantage and they've got control. Alternate aTTaX have been forced to completely reconsider their options. Freeze has to go back and collect the bomb in the first place. He's going to go back to join his teammate Sky now over on that A side of the map, but you got Hype who's in lowers right now, so he's going to get this information if Freeze does make any noise. Oh man, Big Academy, they just turned this round on its head. It wasn't looking great at one point with Maeve being so far forward. Ball. Okay, Hype wants information and it costs him his life.
Yeah, and right now Freeze dropping that Molotov over towards the site. Smoke down as well.
They're both B. There's no one A.
He's giving space, and of course they will be rotating up as soon as possible. Aqua still kind of taking his time. Crimbo, his nade could be big. Timing there.
Aqua has a nade as well.
The timing was great. The positioning wasn't as much, but Freeze does take a little bit of damage still. Bomb planted, smoke down, does even give the CT's a little bit of a chance to maybe jump into a boosting situation, but Aqua's in bank. Crimbo still towards those stairs. They're taking their time. And of course, one flashbang there for Aqua. He is going to be dropping that out, but not in time. Sky finds that headshot. Freeze and Sky both very close range towards those quad boxes, and right now it feels like Crimbo might just try and go for a save. He does have the kit, but not the time. Bomb's going to go up. And Crimbo, I feel like, is going to go up with it. 48 HP, never going to get out of that explosion zone.
Yeah, that's why I don't really understand the point, though, the fact that he kind of goes for the save. I think if, you know, he should have realized the bomb was planted Optimus and he's always going to die to the explosion there. There's no way he can get safely and keep that gun in play. Might as well just go for the retake anyway there with Aqua. Nice. I mean, Ultimate aTTaX actually, you know, were in control initially in that round once they got that first pick, and they had Maeve who had found all that space up bathrooms. He nearly caught Crimbo off guard coming from long. Crimbo actually does a really good job to get that kill back and get the advantage for his team, but Ultimate aTTaX actually just, they end up keeping, well, one player alive, nearly two, but they win the round, and that's what matters. Anti-eco now for the T side.
Yeah, and five-man stack, everybody here in towards mid, ready and waiting for anybody to come around the corner. They're going to take the initiative to try and push in towards Fountain. 4 players there, players still in the background, trying to just help here as Crimbo is going to be able to find the first one to Maeve. Patrick to trade, and of course Sky is still in a difficult position. He lines them up though, and that's it. Finds all the kills in that regard, and everything fine from there on out. But of course, the CTs, they're going to be on another bye. That one player lost isn't going to mean the world to the Ts right now.
Nah, they can accept that for sure. They'll take that in exchange for a full round one as well. You know, anti-eco pretty clean as we do shift into kind of... Still haven't really had a full gun round yet here for the CT side. They've always had like some sort of a weaponry that's, you know, had a bit of a weapon that's had a bit of an asterisk next to it. This time it's the FAMAS. There's also no AWP on this occasion either. As for Ultimate aTTaX, they've got all the bells and all the whistles. They do take some chip damage from the util early on. And that will bring these M4s into one-shot headshot position. And it's going to be Crimbo who opens up the round first.
Yeah, important to find that first one this time out. It feels like the past 2 or 3 rounds they actually lost the early entry towards aTTaX, so certainly something that can help out in the later progression. Crimbo actually to find another kill for his team. That's Freeze dropping now as well. However, of course, 2 kills from Crimbo, 16 HP on him. A difficult position. That's exactly why he's already falling back towards the A bomb site. They have the support over towards a bomb site for the moment. And the CTs are just holding on to that quite comfortably. as the T's are struggling for positions. The bomb is falling back. aTTaX is pretty much moved up as far as he can. And now as they link back up with Patrick, who came up from connector. It's time to make something happen towards Banana. The info is there for Crimbo. Not sure why he would peek, but the flashbang support was there and didn't really do too much. As now aTTaX is also moving up. Hyped Vital here is going to find the kill there, aTTaX. However, the trade is there for Sin. That's even more important. Jumping, prancing, still finding the kill onto Patrick. Shouldn't have worked out for him. He is going to meet his maker in Maeve. Prozus ultimately there with the nade kill after Aqua softened him up. A good round for Big. They did lose players. And yeah, also a little bit too much for Comfort, really.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice start there from Crimbo getting those kills towards Long, get them that 5 versus 3. In the end, it was they did lose a few individuals who made it a little bit of a narrow round there. You know, probably made it tighter than it should have been. And that's why we'll see Ultimate's aTTaX investing again, Galil's and a Mac 10 just to make sure that they can keep the pressure on the CT side. But yeah, Big Academy also knew that they could kind of just trade their way to the end of the round because they had that numerical advantage. Hype, you can't afford to stay up for too long. You know, once you've been looking away to try and avoid that initial flashbang, you know that they could be crossing into playground and pushing you from party soon enough. So certainly on a timer in that position.
Initial
I
damage
do like the
as well
reject
from
from the
Freeze.
CT side though. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, just the fact that Freeze just goes for that pre for Aqua taking a little bit of damage. But yeah, as you said, the read isn't all too bad. Prozus yet again into a great position. Aqua as well chiming in to find Freeze in return for that damage earlier. And they've still got 5 players alive, 2 to find. Maeve and aTTaX. I feel like Maeve might have the upper hand up against Crimbo. Hyped helps out though. And it's all fine and dancy from there on out. aTTaX though, the double as they didn't check that angle. Both with their back turned.
Do you believe?
Don't really. Aqua's spotted him, already communicated to the rest of his team, and he has that spray down locked down as well. All comfortable still, it seems like, for Big Omen Academy. Win the first 2, lose the follow-up 2, but then they're straight back as soon as they have weaponry. And the T's, they're going to be left forcing in this next round, but not all too much, as you want to keep around 2k in your pockets, using that loss bonus to its full potential, to then be able to buy into round number 8.
Yeah. Problem is they're not going to have much to show for this round. Right there you can see 1 Desert Eagle, 3 Glocks and a P250. Should be an easy conversion for Big Academy, who don't actually have much spare cash in the bank. Yes, they need to keep numbers alive, and oh my god, Crimbo's being so aggressive right now. Lotchless is entirely necessary. Oh, Sky, I thought he was going to take some more damage to that HE grenade than he does in the end. Just 23 points of damage, but still, Big Academy don't want to give away any free kills yet. In fact, they almost need to keep all 5 players alive, but 4 at the bare minimum.
Yeah, and
it's looking good.
It's just perfect, just clean out. Find that kill, fall back as well. He's well aware of that read. Crimbo finding Sky. And now as well, all up against Patrick. Doesn't even lose that fight.
Bullets. Oh, man. All right, there we go. All 5 players do stay alive, and that is going to be a healthy buffer for their economy. 5-2 here. Ultimate aTTaX the ball. If you're just joining us, they're down 1-0 in the series right now after losing on their opponent's map pick 16-7. We find themselves on their map pick behind 5-2. It's not too far just yet, but still a little bit precarious.
Yeah, the perfect start, let's face it, as well for the CTs. You start on the CT side, are able to get 5 rounds straight off the bat. Sure, the T's have been able to kind of chime in towards that center of that round progression right now. But remember, back to map 1, Big Omen Academy were able to wrap 3 rounds together, lost 1, got 4 more straight after, so were able to win 7 out of 8. And that, of course, was the point where they really started taking off, start putting distance between themselves and aTTaX. And right now, again, the aggression in towards B short. They do still have Sin further back towards the bomb site. He can rotate up as well, though, as the danger seems to be coming to the upper bomb site. We'll have to see if that's actually going to be the case. Sky to be hyped. Perfect entry into connector.
Wasn't that... Okay, no, it was the rifle, excuse me. Nice kill though, and look at this, finding some space now as well. I thought aTTaX might try and make the play through Monster there. Does look like there's still heavy presence. Oh my god, the good flash means that Patrick will be able to get that kill. Process doesn't have any room to breathe. He burns out, Andy will fall to Patrick. Just 2 versus 4 left remaining, and Ultimate's aTTaX. This has been a really nicely worked round coming through from them.
Yeah, that's also why it's so strong for the CTs, just the fact that they do have a little bit of buffer, as you said, with that money, keeping 5 players alive in the previous. They're going to be saving here. There's no chance that they're going to bring this back. Crimbo has a defuse kit, Sin doesn't. There's not a whole lot of utility to work with to try and make it back towards a site in a 2v4, especially with that time already gone. They can at least, well, say, okay, we'll bring 2 M4s through. The Ts aren't going to go hunting for us anyways. That won't be a problem. And at the same time, the CTs, they can go over their game plan for that next round to come. Certainly Crimbo, I think, will be in touch with the rest of his team to decide what is going to be the next step in their defense. How can they aggress? Where can they aggress? What are they going to be doing for that next round still to come?
Hopefully we see Ultimate's aTTaX build on that round, right, where they can actually build themselves a bit of a platform here on the T side. When you look at the numbers here, what do you think that they need on this T side?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of just go for a rule of thumb that kind of 5 or 6 could certainly be doable. You'd be more comfortable with 6 or 7.
Sure.
But I think a bare minimum would be 5, and then of course an explosive start with a pistol win into that second half is an absolute must.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I couldn't agree more with everything that you mentioned, especially with, 5 being the bare minimum coupled with the pistol round in the next half. 7 would be a position of comfort.
Yeah.
No money left in the bank here for the CT side, so if they lose this round, they'll be economically reset. Then it's a 5-5 game at that point. Ultimate aTTaX will be feeling really good.
Yeah, still, they have to win this round first, and the CTs, after aggressing in that previous, have now fallen back, giving the Ts a little bit more space, in their eye, of course, for them to hang themselves. Right now, though, Sky with the entry onto Hypes, and the timing was perfect there. Ozek as well, double kill from him towards B short, and there you go. The round is opened up. Crimbo still going in towards Banana. He'll be able to find one, struggling to get back towards the bomb site, though, at this point in time. As, of course, Sin will have both hands busy over towards this B bomb site, trying to dodge bullets, trying to get kills in himself. His communication is dire, and he needs an initial kill. It won't happen. Ozek, 3rd kill in the round. AK headshot straight onto Sin. And Crimbo might as well hold on to an AWP. Not a whole lot that he's going to be doing in a 1v4 at the same time. You can't save every single round. And of course now, aTTaX in a much better space. They're certainly going to send 1 or even 2 players out hunting. Maeve already up towards toilets and already over towards the A bomb site to try and make life difficult as Crimbo tries to bring that op through.
Great round coming from Ultimate aTTaX though. I mean, just finding the kills, it's Ozek who just gets a fantastic double there on shorts, and that just kind of blows the door wide open on the round, coupled with the fact that they got that kill towards bathrooms initially as well. Just meant that even after Crimbo got a frag back, it didn't really have much impact on the round. Ozek was quiet, to say the least, on Vertigo. I think he finished the map with only 9 kills or something. It might have been an 11. Yes, it was 11 kills across the entirety of Vertigo, where they lost 16-7. He's their star player. He's the guy I spoke up at the beginning of this the broadcast, and I said he needs to be the most reliable one, putting up the numbers consistently, and then everybody else from there also comes in with the supporting act. So the fact that he didn't have that performance on Vertigo definitely was one of the contributing factors to their demise. But he's looking hot here on Overpass right now.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on. Do have a little bit of a break right now. 5-4. Big OMEN Academy still in the lead. They do have a little bit amount of money as well, especially with the fact that Crimbo was able to get the op through. That gives space to, of course, buy up on maybe an M4 and FAMAS for Sin. Certainly weapons to be dropped. Crimbo can drop the op or drop a rifle towards one of his teammates. So yeah, certainly still doable. They're probably discussing what they do want to bring to the table right now. But of course, the Ts, I feel like quite comfortable right now in this stage of the game. Certainly, as you said, Ozek has been all-important and seems to be one of those crucial factors that is certainly keeping them in the game right now. And him, of course, alongside Sky, is certainly on top.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you would want from an Ultimate aTTaX perspective, would be for Ozek to be leading the charge. Everybody else is going to have to contribute as well, though. Freeze is slow to start. I think he had a tough time on Vertigo too. Patrick, well, I mean, he was outstanding on Vertigo from an individual point of view. Let's see. I mean, this should be I don't want to say completely a free 5-5 scoreline here for the T side, because there's that open play on Hyped, and Crimbo actually went for the M4. He dropped that AWP across. Hyped buys Kevlar. So there might be a way for Big to make something happen in this round. And I love this triple boost as well. You take the 3 pistol players, you put them into a boost. That could get them a kill at the bare minimum. Then you let the AWP do one job over towards Monster and the rifle in bathrooms. This gives them a way to make something happen in the round. Although, Orzik wins a big gunfight out to kick off proceedings.
Yeah, Hyped already drops here. As that is the AWP out of contention for the moment. Crimbo still in towards long toilets though, and he could still be a crucial factor. He's been very dominant in that position as well. Over towards B, Olzek has already taken damage from one of those pistols. Aqua has wrapped around, finds that kill as well. And there you go, Crimbo now has his work cut out for him, drops to Sky. And of course the rotation is already on its way up. Prozus recovers the AWP for the moment.
His father.
Sin. Already his call given away, and there you go. This should pretty much seal the deal. Do you bring the AWP through? Potentially. It seems like Prozus is already on a save. Aqua can try and get a late kill into this round on an exit.
I wish he had a kit. That would have been fun. Should still be able to get a kill for free here at the bare minimum. Could get more though if he opts for trigger discipline.
He wants to go for that knife.
Oh, he does get the knife. He should go down here though. Maybe if he finds the kill. Patrick was a little bit preemptive there on the first couple of shots. Meant that Aqua got the information, but Patrick still puts him to death. At least the knife kill though is going to be a nice boost to cash, right?
Yeah,
Especially when you consider that Hyped is down on 1,400 right now, so he gets the AWP. Everybody else can get a full buy. Will look good in the next round for the CT side.
Yeah, so as long as Prozus stays alive, he's not going to be hunted. They know better, because of course the T's, they have money on their side now. Sky under $9,000, but right up there as well. And of course, a little bit of replay here for these kills. Aqua, we're in behind him, and he was of course in behind Maeve with those... Yeah, with the knife call, and now, yes, it's been 3 rounds in a row. I love my nice little stats. 2 for one team, 2 for the other. 3 for one team, 3 for the other. I'm now ready for 4 rounds here for Big OMEN Academy. However, did Aqua just... No, that was from the replay still, right?
Yeah,
I was just about to say,
yeah.
we're still getting a replay from the end of that first... I was taking a look at some stats and then saw the kill feed pop up and was like, no way!
What have I just missed? How has he done it again?
Yeah, but
What's going on,
Crimbo
Watson?
finds Patrick. And that's the entry that they were looking for quite a while now. Because it hasn't been working out. Entries have been going the way of aTTaX on their T side.
That's true. Finally, it goes the way of the CT side. Does look like aTTaX is going to try and turn up the pace at the back of that Hype. Spots one crossing in towards Banana, feeds that information through to his teammates and maintain his position in the bathrooms. He knows he can't really leave himself exposed towards the outside because he does lose his life then. Inside the fire right now, he's going to be able to get himself a second kill in the round, and he connects the shots onto Freeze. That should be enough for his teammates to seal the round.
Yeah, great work there already done. Now just to not over-aggress. Don't give anything away. Don't invite them back into this round. Freeze and Maeve still going, but of course Freeze down to 15 already. And as Maeve, he sees a elbow. Has seen some toes as well here from Sin. And right now still... He's showing just yet. Maeve is going to find Sin. Damage dealt though in return. That is certainly going to give a chance. The flash was perfect from Freeze, but Crimbo to up and end that round. Still 3 players lost. And a further investment having to come through. At least the AWP has recovered as well.
That was really nice shots coming through from Maeve, at least to get those kills, right? I mean, those almost for a second felt like there might have been a way for them to get back into that 2 versus 5, but no, it was actually a nice little 2 kill there from the player over at the dumpster just to finish off the round. So, 6-5, Big Academy, make sure that Ulstein's aTTaX don't get themselves the lead here on the T side of the map, which is really important. No cash left in the bank actually really for either team to speak of as well, which is important to keep in mind. CTs will still have a bit of a round loss bonus that they've accrued, but I think whoever loses this round is going to have to eco in the next. So that's going to be punishing, and we're going to have a big B execute coming through here from the T side.
Yeah, seems that the CTs are set and ready for it, though. Already pre-firing through that monster smoke. However, of course, the T's are in good position. Sky, as soon as that fades, should also have a pre-fire down right now, though. Maeve and Olzek. Olzek have been so strong in towards short as well. Not the first time that he would find 2 or even 3 kills. Patrick is very close towards Monster. And we're still waiting for that execution command to come through. As right now, 3 players are lying in wait for the CTs. Maeve. Timing! And it's there as well for him. He's able to open up, finds a second. The dink was there, but not enough. As the T's take over control of this B bomb sites. And aTTaX seem firmly in control of their own map pick right now here in Overpass. Bomb has been planted. Crimbo sure does find Freeze lurking over towards the A site, but who cares if you've still got a 4-on-2. Bomb planted, and the CTs yet again have to save. You've said they have a little bit of a loss bonus going for them, but it's not going to be enough to fully equip them for that next round anyways. And right now, Sky into a position where Hyped might not be expecting him. Did he not see him?
No, and unfortunately he should make a noise when he jumps up, so it should be a free kill for Hype, but the trade comes through from Patrick immediately afterwards, so it's still all's well and ends well. What a good round coming through from aTTaX, and again, it's Maeve. I mean, just showing a fantastic tendency to be able to walk into the bomb site with the AWP and find some entries. The timing was sublime, making his way up shorts. I love that play as well when you've got the AWP on the T side. If you've got a nice spawn, try and get yourself up towards shorts as early as you can, get that scope in undetected, and you can kind of just try and find that contact, and doesn't just get the first kill. Here we go. See that first frag? Then he just swings onto the second player here as well. Great work coming out of the sniper.
Yeah, and at the same time, of course, on the side of Big Omen Academy, it's not the first time that they're playing 2 players really, really close towards Monster. That's kind of been their default setup, and aTTaX seem to be well aware. Maybe a time where then Big can start to adapt as well, where they can change things up, maybe play a player towards Water in a crossfire in that position. A little bit tough, of course, for them, as right now, it's always easier for us to kind of suggest adaptions, as we're not on the server in their POV, we have the grand scheme of things as well. And that makes criticizing so much easier. But of course, we have that massive privilege here right now. Pistol spawns up yet again. The T's heading over towards the B bomb site. Realizes all clear. Already expecting players towards short though. Where else should they be? Prozus burning alive right now. Doesn't have a smoke to support. Unlucky.
What a big call coming through. Yeah, aTTaX just grouping up through Monster Tunnel, walking their way towards the B bomb site. I mean, there is a world in which they could have been a stack up over on the side of the map as well, you know, and they could have walked into a stack. But yeah, the odds were in their favor this time, and they get a completely vacant bomb site. And with that, a full control, and it'll be another conversion, and they get themselves the lead for the first time here on Overpass as well.
Yeah, of course, the first time that they're actually in the lead since that 2-0 lead at the start of Vertigo. Since then, Big Omen Academy certainly took over the reins and didn't move a bit from there on out. 7-6 now, we said 5 to 6 rounds would be perfect. 7 would be even better. Right now, Maeve does find Aqua at the end as well. Crimbo brings an AK through. Next buy coming up. Big Omen Academy still with a chance to make it 8-7 at halftime. Certainly doable right now, but of course, yeah, they need to change something up. aTTaX, big focus, of course, for them towards the B bomb site time and time again. I'm just unsure what the bigger solution is going to be if Hamas alongside the AK and 3 M4s. Sin does not have a single nade to his name.
No open player for the CT side as well, so that might make things a little bit more difficult. We know how important the AWP is on the CT side of this map in particular.
How aggressive they are into mid.
Oh yeah, they want to find these fights, don't they? They've got one towards long and one towards party here, but the thing is, the party players also trying to just keep some tabs on lows. Oh man, in the meantime, aTTaX just sticking to their bread and butter. It looks like they're going to end up on the B-bomb site.
Oh, Maeve though, moving up towards party, in towards Fountain as well. Chances certainly there. Crimbo will have it right on the nail. Sky in the meantime, nade kill onto Aqua, perfectly stacked there. Onto that area of the map, Prozus drops, and yet again the advantage is turned back around. Sure, you can get an entry, but at the same time, aTTaX is straight back in, firmly in control of the B bomb site now. The Molotov's not going to be doing much. Crimbo's into a perfect rotate. Does have Sin alongside with him, but Hyped might need to pull attention first. Crimbo's there at least. Only one, and only one, as Freeze finds a double. Is there in the exact situation where you need him.
Oh, look at Hype. He might go unaccounted for. Oh, I thought some trigger discipline might have been the better option on that occasion there, but he doesn't have a kit, so I guess he still doesn't really have a chance to win the round. He just wants to make sure he can try and save his gun, but that's not going to be an option either. 8-6, big academy. They've let that lead slip big time. I mean, the T side have been able to win 6 of the past 7 rounds here to turn proceedings around, and they've built up a pretty decent amount of cash in the process, so here in the last round of the half, I mean, they've got a great chance to make this a 9-6 scoreline. I love the innovation with the HE grenades to open up that B bomb side as well, soften it by getting that kill, and then they get the kill into process as well, who swings from the pillar, and from there, there's just no defense left remaining. Ultimate aTTaX, they're in the driver's seat right now as things were.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what they can bring to this final round of the first half on the side of Big Omen Academy. Certainly reminiscent of that first map right now. Especially with 6 of the past 7, that turned into 7 out of 8 rounds in favor of Big Omen Academy. But aTTaX right now on the T side seem to be pretty well versed in their own game plan. Of course, we talked about this in the break as well. You mentioned that Patrick, of course, has played in this constellation before on Overpass with them as well, no less. So certainly maybe something that was also to be considered into the map veto at the start. Prozis is going to find one on the MP9. Patrick from Connector is able to respond, and Hyped, unfortunately, had to stay in cover. And the door was shut again, so nothing really that can have too much impact in. Patrick drops back and heads towards Monster that is still smoked off for the moment. But are they aware that Con isn't clear?
Yeah. That's exactly what I was going to mention right now. Are they aware of Hype's position? And it doesn't look like they're accounting for it at all. Patrick's going to make a lot of noise coming back through here, so it will be a free frag for Hype, but that compromises his position. And there's nobody on the A site itself right now. Krumbo will be the first player to try and rotate back from long. He's got 17 kills so far on the map, but he won't be adding any more in this round.
And with that, of course, the attack is on towards the A bomb site. Maeve already covering in behind with that AWP. Is he expecting a secondary player there as well right now? Freeze finds Sin. And Aqua's all by himself, all by his lonesome, moving through toilet. 1v3 certainly can isolate these into separate 1v1s, but Maeve is going to be checking back. Sky to find that headshot. 6-9 at halftime. Alternate aTTaX, what a run of rounds from them. Not only 7 out of the last 8, but it was also 5-2 at some stage in favor of Big Omen Academy. They seem to be continuing their dominance from map 1. Only then for aTTaX to really warm up on that T side, and everybody really coming through for them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Sky had a huge half, but as you say, everybody contributed. Everybody, when they were called upon, were able to stand up to the task. Ozek, this was a huge round for him. It feels like that was one of the rounds that kind of turned the tide, and ultimate aTTaX never really looked back since then. I mean, as you mentioned, they were down 5-2, and I was a bit worried for them, but able to completely get themselves back into it. 9-6 halftime scoreline. They'll take that every single day of the week on the T side of this map, and well, we said 7 would be a position of comfort, so they're sitting really healthy right now with 9.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they can bring to our second half. Look at that round progression. Very one-sided in the end for aTTaX for those final rounds of the first half. They now have to convince us in the second half as well. We've talked about the importance of the pistol round. Right now, if Big win this pistol, it could be all level at 9 within a couple of moments, really. So we'll have to see as aTTaX are going to be jumping into it. A little bit of aggression from Patrick just to check mid. Everybody else is towards B, and we've talked about how this is always a good game plan. Prozis to trade back onto Sky, but of course they're well aware that they have to be on point right now. Hyped to find Maeve. 2 more players in towards water. Are they expecting them? They've certainly seen them now. The bomb is dropped into enemy territory as well, and the round just crumbles from there. I'm unsure why you go hunting in that sort of situation. 3 players staying alive. And sure, Ozek is awfully lucky to survive at 1 HP. But aTTaX, well deserved that round. Make it double digits as well. What did we just see?
Yeah, they did. I mean, great shots there to shut down the B aggression. I actually remember casting the game yesterday between Ultimate aTTaX and Ryzen on Overpass. And Ultimate aTTaX, I think that they stacked into like lowers in the top side of the map. So I wonder if Big Academy just watched the demo and saw what they did in their T side or in their CT side pistol round and thought, okay, if they're only going to play one player safe on that B bomb side, then let's try for the aggressive hit. But in the end, there was a stack there this time, and they completely shut Big down, which which means they are in prime position to actually take this to a decider. There's a good chance we see Inferno now, Phelan.
Yeah, certainly there, and Inferno is also our classic decider that we see in most best of threes, I feel like, as well. So we'll have to see how that comes through, also what Big can still bring to their T side, but of course the advantage that aTTaX can build right now is so important for them, and right now even more important, I feel like, is the fact that, of course, Big are staying on top of this, are staying honest, down to Glocks right now, to be able to afford a buy as soon as possible in any regard. And right now, Maeve missing out on the first shot on that scout, does hit the second, but only through the box. And certainly chances there, even though, yes, it does get shut down between the two of them, between Maeve and Ozek, but the chances were there for the Glocks to get close enough to actually find more kills.
Yeah, they did get on top of those CT players, but unfortunately they weren't actually able to find the shots to get the kills, just did a bit of damage. Maeve swaps up for the USP, and that definitely makes things a lot easier for him, and also gets in on the act as well. 11 to 6 years we shift into this first gun round, and it kind of feels like this is do or die for Big Academy, right? Lose this, it's going to be 13-6 before they can buy again, and based on the fact that at that point, from being 5-2 up to being 13-6 down, I don't see them coming back from that here on Overpass, to be honest.
Yeah, not a whole lot of rounds remaining, as our observers remind us. Only 5 rounds still to go if aTTaX want to close things out right now. Both teams ended up splitting pistols as even as they can. Both maps as well, every single time. The CTs have won the pistol round, and that does not seem like it's going to be changing right now. First buy round, though, is going to be coming up in Big Omen Academy onto those rifles. Limited in some regard when it comes down to utility. Not a single frag grenade. They do have Molotovs, they do have flashbangs, they do have plenty of smokes as well. But of course, the frag grenades can still do a whole lot of damage, as we see come through. Prozis down to 81 only. I was expecting that to be a little bit more damage, to be honest.
Yeah, I thought it might be as well. What's the plan here for Big Academy? Looks like it's just going to be a pretty passive default from the get-go. Got a player making sure there's no aggressive players in towards that B-bomb side of the map, you know, pushing through from Monster or Short Tunnel. Player patrolling lowers as well, that's Aqua. And then just the core 3 working their way forward. Obviously, this just gives you all the options in the world. You're forcing them back long towards towards the site as well from long. And you also will have that option to rotate down lowers in towards B. The one thing that alternate aTTaX do have for them right now is water control. And the door's open. After's going to get timed. Your Freeze swings out with the MP9, but the trade is there from Crimbo.
He's well aware of Patrick as well, though. However, Patrick, one of the only players I feel like who plays the MP7 rather than the MP9, seems to have it all under control. Plenty of headshots from him today already. And great impact as it's back down to a 4-on-3. The advantage, however, now returned as Prozis finds a headshot onto Maeve. Damage, however, dealt onto him as well, down to 10. Easier target for any of the CTs. And the nade comes through from Ozek to end him. However, the timing is just awful. How is Ozek not dropped? Hyped! Drops in the end, and now it's all going to be down to Sin. He was past that smoke. He should have had the kill quite comfortably, and now Sin is going to be moving up. Brings it back down to 1-on-1, and remember, Sky is miles away right now.
He needs to pick a bomb. This isn't the correct pathing. Oh man, Sky's going to be able to see him on the angle because he crosses onto the side. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't think that there's enough time here. And it doesn't even matter because in the end, Sky's going to just step out and get that frag. 12-6 alternate aTTaX by the skin of their teeth. Win that all-important gun round.
Yeah, and I feel like that might even be a premature decision on the map here. Just not working out for Big Omen Academy. I feel like they're not fragging as strong as on map 1, to be honest. At the same time, aTTaX have certainly warmed up more. Ozek having a great game. Maeve as well. And Sky, of course, top fragging right now on the server at 18 alongside Crimbo. But the rest, everybody else apart from Crimbo on the side of Big Omen Academy, it's not really hitting their shots, being taken out too easily. Ozek from Con is able to find a double. Crimbo finally does find him as well. Sin finds Freeze. Let's say the P-bomb site could be an option, but Patrick is quick to shut that down as well. Wow. A triple to his name. And it's just been insane because every time I feel like Big might get a chance, then aTTaX just shut them straight back down. It was 9-6 into half-time, and aTTaX have won every single round now.
Yeah, And even in that previous round there, yeah, sure, the CTs get the first 2 kills, but there was certainly a decent response from Big Academy there. Finding 3 kills off their own, they got the man advantage. And it looked like maybe it was doable, but then Patrick just says no. That's the only word he uses, just no. Gets 3 kills in such quick succession. And with that, it's that 13-6 scoreline as we do shift into the gun round here. I mean, Big Academy are already so far behind the game on the C side. What's your thoughts on Inferno? Jokes aside, I mean, it does look like we'll be having that conversation soon enough.
Yeah, I'm unsure right now, to be honest, because I feel like that is still going to be a map where Big Academy are going to be the stronger team. Sure, when you go with the limited stats that, for example, HLTV have, it looks stronger for aTTaX, but of course Big, on an international level, have been playing against stronger opposition in some regard as well, and certainly have been putting more numbers in at that regard. But yeah, anything possible. Big OMEN Academy just don't seem to get their plan together here on Overpass for the moment. Still going to be giving it their all, of course. 7 rounds. Seems to be a big lead for the moment, but could certainly be brought back. Never underestimate this big OMEN Academy roster. However, this first fight in towards Con. Maybe fortunate on the timing. Aqua's there to find the initial headshot. Can move up now as well. The pre-fire though, perfect. Brings him down to 10.
Oh
Freeze. Deserved that kill, I'd like to say.
It's so fiendish to do that with the M4ONS as well, because you've got such an easy spray control. You can just tap through. It's become incredibly popular. How do Big Academy try and convert this round after they find that opening pick? Get a second kill there, courtesy of Sin as well. That's going to be pulling rotations over. There's still 2 players towards the top side of the map, and it's actually only Sky who's over towards B right now. There we go. As I expected, another player to make his way down.
Yeah, right now though, Sky with that nade, the idea isn't all too bad. It doesn't really deal any damage, however. And now the execution already happening. Sky though, he's holding on, finding headshots, buying time. And certainly now, the chances are still good for Freeze to be here quickly enough. He's faced by 2. I'm unsure why he pulled the brakes. Ozek now coming in from short, already being held on to. He finds a headshot against all odds to take out the op. And still makes the round awfully expensive for the T's here. But finally a first round for them into the second half. Is this a catalyst for more?
It should be at least for 2 more rounds from here, considering the lack of cash for alternate aTTaX, who should be going for a force buy in this next round. So I think it should be at least a 13, 9 scoreline before we see another full buy round coming through. And that does look a lot better than 13-6 did, to be fair. Force buy as anticipated, and this is where we need to see Big Academy starting to sink their teeth into the C side and show us what they're capable of. It feels like they've gone off the boil here on Overpass. They got off to a nice start as we see Hype missed a shot, but we need to see this team now actually showing a bit of fight back, because if they can't do it now, then it's Inferno up next, and that's going to come sooner rather than later.
Yeah, right now, yet again, we're just waiting for that execution to happen. It wouldn't be the first time where aTTaX, even on lower weapons, would be able to shut down their opposition. Big OMEN Academy at times seemed half asleep in some of these battles. aTTaX were just so quick. Lasering down some of those players, especially with the MP9. However, the push is on, and it seems he'll be ready for it. Hype took a look away. Sin is still alongside with him. It's all about timing now. Hype is there for 1. Sin finds the other 2. That should be this round pretty much already converted. However, Freeze is still in towards shorts.
Nice shot.
More than a kill would have been crazy. Maeve finds a Galil, I guess. But I highly doubt that he'll be able to find too much more.
Not like he's going to write home about saving a Galil here. I guess because it's a force buy, maybe you could just take that into the next round, save in the next round, and have this to play with at the bare minimum. But really nice round there, actually, from Big Academy. You know, I love how prepared they were, how ready they were for that monster push to be coming through. They were just watching that smoke religiously, you know, sat back on the platform. They had that distance, they had the cover, and they had the awareness. All 3 together combined for the perfect storm. And yeah, Sin sprays down 2. A kill there for the Yorp as well. And it will be 13-8 as expected. 13-9 surely shortly afterwards, when we consider the fact that the CTs are going to have to save here. Oh man, they are looking lovingly into each other's eyes. That's just beautiful, guys. That's
Yeah, I was
gorgeous.
just about to say as well, you could even form a heart in between them. Somebody do it and post on Twitter. I'm sure the players will be happy about that as well. Right now, though,
God.
13-8. That delta is certainly shrinking between these two scorelines. However, we've seen it time and time again, even here with the Deagles, they've been strong. However, of course, the round went towards Big Omen Academy. Money is gone for aTTaX, as you said. And now it's all just about playing it down cleanly. Don't give anything up. Neither to the Deagle, nor to the Galil of Maeve.
Oh, nice kill there.
Patrick.
Yeah, that gives him the space now to get in towards the speed bomb site. Sin comes up from short. He cleans up with 2 snapshots of his own. 13-9 is going to be upon us soon enough. I do want to say, it feels like for me that it's the next gun round in that 23rd round is going to be indicative as to whether Big Academy actually are making a legit comeback or not. Because if they lose that next gun round, then it's still like 14-9, and that scoreline, yeah, that still looks rough, right? If they win that next gun round, though, then they probably have a really good chance of getting up to 13-11 after the anti-eco. So for me, it's that next gun round where I'm going to be watching for.
Yeah, certainly is going to be the more decisive one. However, of course, Maeve yet again just bringing that Galil through. I don't know, for Big it's just so important as well for their confidence, I think, especially for Sin, those 2 quick headshots on the spray downs. Good stuff as well from the entry of Hyped. And whilst aTTaX is trying to bait somebody in towards Connector, or at least into that angle, it won't be happening, as everybody on the side of the T's will be surviving. And continuing on from there on out. 3 rounds in a row now for Big Omen Academy. Can they be just as dominant as aTTaX were at times on that T side? Of course, as soon as you make the CT stumble when it comes down to their own economy, then it is so much easier to keep on going on that T side as well.
Yeah, that's true. Let's see if they can continue their momentum. Couple rounds coming back into the game. Yeah, for Big Academies, they have made this interesting once again. Reducing the delta. I like the way that you phrased that. And, well, alternate aTTaX don't have much cash in the bank at all to speak of. This is the round they've been waiting for. They don't have an AWP to speak of. And there's a forward position that's been taken up here by Ozek. Got support from Maeve, but they don't really have control towards long. So they know that this is kind of on a timer right now. Oh man, nice nade there. Does a chunk of damage to the players towards lowers.
Yeah, and right now still sure that damage is dealt, and Hype takes a little bit of damage there as well. However, right now it's all about this push, and the smoke buys a little bit of time for aTTaX. It's right now just pushing through. Perfect flash as well. Ozek, though, yet again holding on in that crossfire with Maeve, and that pretty much already giving a huge overhead to aTTaX right now. Molotov in towards Bank Aqua. How has he not seen that head? Maeve brings back another, and it is brought back to individual mistakes as well. I feel like Freeze finds the final kill. They almost lined up for Hyped, just did not get that shot off. And I'm sorry to say, but right now, it's not just that aTTaX are playing this well, but it's the fact that Big Omen Academy seem to be missing shots that they must hit, and that they were hitting on map 1.
Yeah, you can see the thought process there, right, of the T side coming out of lowers and just trying to turn the pace up as quickly as they could. As you guys can see the Skin Baron voucher here. Get that screenshot, get that code, and get your €5 voucher. It's got your name on it. But you can see they try to turn the pace coming through from lowers and want to aggressively push into the A site. And their flashes were really good. They needed that kill onto the Optimus player, but Ozek, he was just a magnificent player in that defense there, getting himself 2 kills, shut down Big Academy. And with that, they've been reduced to 14-9. Alternate aTTaX putting the nails in the coffin.
Yeah, I feel like it's certainly their own fault. Ozek, perfect reaction to that flash. Saw it coming from a mile away. And then Prozis not able to take advantage whatsoever. Sure, Hyped is there for a trade, but I feel like right now it might just be too little too late for for Big Omen Academy as well to just get back into this right now. Good positioning from Sky over towards the B bomb site. Perfect angle from him in towards Monster. But of course, Hyped back in towards mid. Checking toilets now. Molotov deep into there. And still Maeve might get the first look in that battle. He will. With that right now, Sky holds on to Monster. Damage is there. He can reposition. Sure, the trade is there for Crimbo, but he runs through the Molotov. That's the bomb dropped in enemy territory. Sin is still behind it. And Patrick finishes up this round as well. 15-9. Well, what a game here on map 2. The two of us thought that surely Big Omen Academy is going to be able to transfer the 16-7 advantage from that previous map onto the second as well and have the upper hand. But that does not seem to be the case. We said if one of these two semi-finals goes to a third map, we're more likely to see this one actually go the full distance onto Inferno.
Yeah, that's true. And it's almost a foregone conclusion at this point. Great round from aTTaX, initially repelling the aggression towards Fountain, corralling Big back towards that B bomb site, and then shutting down the execute on that side of the map as well. Ozek might get caught off guard here. Looks like he wants to push in towards those. He's actually spotted Aqua out. AK up against the M4. Somehow the M4 is going to be able to come out on top, but it is Ozek who possesses that weapon right now, and he's just built different.
Yeah, and right now, Crimbo is going to be moving up. They need that initial kill. They do at least catch Freeze. Maeve still here. The AWP doesn't hit, and with that, Prozis back in as well with the Galil.
Okay.
It is a classic German commentator rule that when you win the 15th, you're more likely than not able to win to make it 16 immediately. And that comes true in German CS a whole lot more than in international.
I wonder if there's going to be a world in which Big are actually able to bring this into a game of overtime, or are we going to be closing
They might
this
be
up
shut down
16-9?
here.
Yeah, I know. Patrick, he's trying to do the job coming through from the flank right now. He's got one
Too
kill
late.
in the round, but he just doesn't have the time. All right, never mind. All he can do is look for some kills. It got a little bit nerve-wracking for a second there. But,
if Prozis and Hyped wouldn't have found those kills, it would have been 16 for aTTaX. And it would have taken anything back, but at least Big Omen Academy are able to make it double digits. How far can they come back is the bigger question. Two of us have already posed it. It does smell like a third map right now.
I agree. I'm absolutely right there with you. It is going to have to be an eco round here from the scrap that. Okay, they're going to go for the investment. Don't know what their round loss bonus. Okay, they'll just have the one counter round loss bonus. So, I guess it's fair enough that they go for the force buy, but lose this next round to 15-11, 15-12 after anti-eco. 15-12 looks precarious to me, man. I'll be a little bit nervous at that point for aTTaX at 15-12. So let's see if they can finish the map here with this force buy.
Oh, Freeze certainly opening up things here with that Deagle. No response just yet for those Ts. They're certainly looking towards Connector. Now we'll not have an angle. Prozis, he has players falling back. Drops to Patrick that has the AK in hand. You've talked about the importance of the AK, and it's done more damage up against Hyped. Crimbo's towards short, but Patrick outmaneuvered him already.
No.
Big spray down, and Ozek to end it. What was that? Patrick, of course, big round from him. But still, I mean, kind of speechless there. Shouldn't have happened in that way.
Yeah, I think that Big Academy are going to be a little bit aggrieved that I feel like they made quite a few mistakes on Overpass. You know, not to take anything away from aTTaX, who actually had a really strong performance as well. And you consider the fact that they were down 5-2 at the start of the map, coming off the back of the 16-7 drubbing on Vertigo. You know, a big props to aTTaX for still being able to pick themselves up and put up performance that they did on their map pick.
Yeah, and at the same time, of course, still the fact is that sure, aTTaX were strong, but Big missed out on a couple of key shots that they should have hit, that they had to hit as well. Otherwise, that of course kept the door open. A couple of times where we, of course, even without X-Ray, would have seen heads. Players didn't quite react quickly enough. And then also, the way that aTTaX played together, everybody came to go. They had great crossfires set up, great trades as well, and that was the decisive factor.
Absolutely, it was, and we're going to find out who's going to close the series out as well. It's going to be Inferno, as is the stock standard in competitive Counter-Strike. We're going to take a breather, and when we return, we'll be back with that third and final map.
ANATY Invitational, as we will be heading into map 3 pretty soon. We did say before the best of 3 went on that, of course, well, this game could go the full distance, and it certainly is.
Yeah, living up to expectation. For once, the casters know what they're talking about. And you know what? I'm happy for it because it means that we have a tightly contested affair here in this all-important semi-final. The winner of this map will see themselves in the grand final to be played later today against the winner between NLG and Epic Dudes. And, well, you're going to have the pleasure of calling that game as well alongside MNJ. But first, it's Inferno. And Tyler, I mean, who do you even think is going to be featuring in that grand final between these two teams?
Oh, it's going to be tough. I still think that Big might just come out on top between these two, and I'm also expecting NLG to get the better of Epic Dudes.
Okay.
Not that I don't rate Epic Dudes, I still think they're a strong roster, just I think that NLG have the slight edge above them. We'll see how that actually comes through. Of course, every single time where we say, yep, that's exactly what's going to happen, then that just gets thrown right out the window, and it's just, well, Caster's Curse, whatever we say is not going to happen. Right now, our prediction was pretty much spot on, though. We're going into a third map.
Yeah.
Inferno, I think, will be anybody's game. Big had a couple of problems. Not sure if they felt that way as well. If they win, we will, of course, have them in an interview post-game as well.
What I will say is, while Inferno is still a pretty good map for alternate tactics, Big Academy are very comfortable on Inferno. It's the, tied for their most played map on HLTV. They play the map a bunch. Very happy to leave it as the decider in a lot of their series that they play, and they have good success on it as well. Which means they've got all their protocols, all their fundamentals incredibly well ironed. They've got great chemistry and synergy on the map as well. So I still am backing Big Academy to win this one and get into that grand final, but it should be tight.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the fact that, of course, still we've seen players kind of warm up a little bit more on the aTTaX side in that second map. If they can transfer that, and if Big continue to have a couple of problems where they're not really hitting their shots, then it's going to get awkward, because right now you have to be firing on all cylinders. Not only do you have this game right now, of course, yes, you will have a longer break. The other best of 3 still needs to happen, but those teams will then be super, super hot quickly into that grand final, hopefully, as well, and we'll have to see who actually makes it through. The old monitor is ready, it's turned off. Need to start up Counter-Strike first before we can actually jump into it.
And clean the table, man.
Yeah,
got 2 cups in
and
there.
also clean your mouse. Clean that tracking ball if you have an old monitor like that.
Got to get the earbud in there, some toilet paper, reconstruct the thing. Nowadays, what we have to deal with is our mouse battery dying.
Yeah, and I think that was the problem on map 1 as well. That was the reason why we had a tech break at some stage.
All right, well, fair enough.
I don't know how, because, I mean, I charge my mouse like maybe once a week, maybe every 10 days. My keyboard goes about 6 or 7 days as well. So, yeah. Like,
I got to try charge my mouse a bit more regularly than that.
I mean, not to name any brand names here, but I do have the most used wireless mouse, I think.
Ooh.
I'd say, probably. But right now, we're ready to head into the pistol. Or knife, sorry, knife first. I forget knife rounds exist these days.
Yeah, only on the decider. I mean, Inferno, I'd say it's not really as important on this map, right? Starting CT or T it's not the end of the world. It's not like a nuke or an ancient type of thing.
Start T side.
Never gonna start T side.
Yes, start T side. Start T side.
No. Come on, Tyler. This is why we're the casters. They're the players. Remember, we had this conversation
they're
already.
always gonna start CT side, but whoever starts T wins the half.
Okay, I mean, you're making some bold calls there, Cotton. We'll have to see how they end up playing out. But it was Big Academy who won that knife round, right?
Yeah.
Did I get that correct? Okay, cool. So they will have that choice. And then I'm even further stand by my prediction that I think that they win the map here. They did win very comfortably on Vertigo. If you're just joining us, we are here with the first semi-final with 16-7 on Vertigo by Big Academy. They picked the map and they were incredibly, comprehensive on that map as well. We then went into Overpass. They got off to a lightning start there, going up 5-2 on their CT side, but they kind of just disappeared. They went AWOL. We have the missing posters set up all over Berlin and Germany to find the Big Academy players, and hopefully coming here into Inferno, they will be pitching up.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they actually choose. I'm expecting them to stay on CT, to be fair, but I'm still standing by my point that whoever stays on T side is going to win this and is going to win from here on out. So we'll have to see what they can actually bring to the table. Pistol is on. I see Julie's on the side of Aqua for Big Omen Academy. I'm ready to see where he is actually going to be heading.
Yeah, all right. We are underway with the decider. 2 pistols are better than 1, and as I said, I'm going to be watching Aqua closely here as well. What's the utility looking like? Actually, there's barely any. None on the T side. 5 players with armor. You don't see this much anymore, and they're just going to go for the brute force approach. Straight up middle. Looks like they're going to be heading in towards Archers and Processes here right now.
Yeah, he's holding on, just not hitting shots just yet. Now they come through the corner, and Maeve, he's going to find that headshot immediately on the Glock. Do they go through CT or head back towards the A bomb site? They're praying on the rotation to stay over towards B and not come back over towards A, but Big Omen Academy seem to have that locked down. Timing is great from Crimbo as well, coming in from short. However, Aqua, he's going to be shut down on the Julies. And even here, the Glocks just too strong for Big Omen Academy. Crimbo still lingering around the apartments, not hitting his shots. And I feel like it's always more difficult when the player has his back turned to try and hit shots, but yeah, it didn't really work
proven. No, that's proven. Trying to shoot someone in the back of the head with a pistol is like 9 out of 10 difficulty type of thing in Counter-Strike. But I mean, what a round from alternate aTTaX. They just win all the gunfights. Process misses so many shots. It still wasn't the end of the world that Big lost that first pick. They had a really big push that came through from Bananas. They had a lot of information and a quick flank that came through from both apartments and middle. But unfortunately, neither Crimbo nor the player in AS could actually get those kills. And so that's when it all completely unraveled for the CT side. And alternate aTTaX pick up here on Inferno where they left off on Overpass as they open up their account first.
I mean, I did tell you that T-side is gonna win.
Oh, you say just the pistol round.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
they're gonna win the first half regardless. No worries there.
I like the confidence.
As if we would be in an arena and would have a crowd, then surely you would be hearing Alfgate's aTTaX. But we'll have to see if they can actually transfer that into the server as well here on Inferno. Of course, prize money on the line in this game. If you win it, you move on to the grand final. It's 1,000 euros already secured for a 2-day event. Not all too shabby, let's be honest.
Oh no, not at all. Absolutely not. 4,000 euros in total up for grabs here. And the ANATY Invitational winner here into that grand final, like you say. Right now it's going to be a defense over towards the B bomb site. Great shot there from Aqua. He just absolutely tears Freezer's head right off.
Yeah, right now, hyped.
Oh wow, he needed that shot.
Then Ozek super comfortable. Of course, as soon as you don't hit the first shot, then the Galil comes out in full effect. And even here, Ozek is going to find the triple that he was looking for. Great to see him already off to a good start here on Inferno. 5 kills to his name right now. Everybody else has only found a single one. Of course, we're only into round 2, so it is pretty much early days. But yet again, another bomb plant. T's seem more than comfortably here. Yes, they lose Freeze, but they don't really care. I love the fact that Maeve is onto the SG as well. We don't see the Krieg too much.
Nah, and I'm really happy about that as well. Listen, maybe there's a world in which it's nice to have it where it can perform a certain role for a team, but it certainly shouldn't just be the fallback weapon, you know, the go-to rifle on the T side. Just, you know, I'm glad that they pretty much buried that gun. I mean, it was in the meta for way too long, and I'm happy to see the back of it. You don't sound like you're too happy though.
I've never played the Krieg, to be honest. Not even when it was meta, I didn't really touch it. I did touch the AUG a little bit, the AUG. Like that a little bit more, but yet again, I'm not a meta player. We know that because I still play A4, and yeah.
No, don't out yourself and say you're still playing A4. What's the reason for that?
I just get along better with the A4. It's not that I need the extra 5 bullets, but yeah, I still seem to spray better with it than the A1S. Don't ask why, because it doesn't make sense.
Self-punishment, that's what I'm hearing. You just like making your own life more difficult.
Yeah, and I barely play CS, so I just don't have the time.
Okay, well, fair enough. We'll convert you soon enough.
Yeah, and nobody wants to play CS with me right now, so.
Oh, wow. You know what? You can come play with Togo playing out here on my South African servers. Orzek, well, he is able to find that opening pick in the rounds. He's a second player as well. I don't think he's aware that Aqua's in the site, but it doesn't really matter here. Consider the fact it's just USPs that he's contesting up against.
Yeah, and right now, sure, it is only pistols yet again, and the T's have everything at their disposal. But for the CTs still having Deagles in the running, it's nice to find a kill, maybe even two, just to make life a little bit more difficult, just to have aTTaX on edge when it comes down to money. And right now, they're sticking together, 3 players straight in towards long. Sky still within the apartments. Ozek is going to be moving over towards the A bomb site into upper bracket now as well. Smoke nades all over the place towards the A bomb site. Hyped is going to be dropping down from the apartments. That was certainly heard, and Ozek already opening up the kills. It's all just about clearing out the bomb site. They've done that already. Safe bomb plant. Don't concede anything. And aTTaX right now on a good run already with 3 at the start.
I mean, it never really felt like aTTaX pitched up on Vertigo, right? They kind of just got dominated, particularly in that second half. Once Big switched to the CT side, the rest was history. But ever since Overpass and here at the starts of Inferno, they've looked like a really strong outfit, as we expected coming into the series. Like I said, I've actually had the pleasure of casting these guys quite a few times in the past few weeks, and let me tell you, they're on an upwards trajectory right now, and they're playing with the stand-in. They don't even have Zen, their core member in the team, featuring in this matchup or in this event. But this is the first gun round of the decider. Let's see if Big can get their campaign underway.
Yeah, super interested to see what they can bring. Hyped is on the op. They do have 4 M4s, 2 defuse kits to their names as well. Sin Pros is hyped, yet to frag into this map. Crimbo Aqua each have 1 kill. Still find it funny that Patrick and Freeze are yet to frag. But there you go. Might change in this round. Molotov top banana. Perfectly done here as well to force
Nice.
Crimbo out of position. Ozek adding on top of his already high kill counter after 3 rounds.
Well, let me tell you something, mates. Ozek yesterday against Ryzen got 28 kills in the first half. 28
What?
kills in the first half.
Hyped right now is grabbing 2 kills as well, but I'm still actually blown away by that stat right now, though. Hyped is getting support. Prozis is grabbing a double. That's bomb dropped, and Ozek, well, the man of the hour, the man of the minute maybe, just in this game. We'll have to see if he can still bring it back. I find it quite interesting that actually Prozis concedes on control of the bomb. Aqua, though, perfect timing coming up from lower mids. They just about outmaneuvered themselves. They did not see each other. Please just go B. Please just run through towards B, Ozek.
Oh my god.
He wants to go A.
Super unfortunate. He's being raptured though as well. The timing might actually work out in his favor because Aqua comes around the corner towards Archers and he doesn't see Ozek at all. Are they aware of the potential that he could be here in the A site? As soon as he taps the plant though, all the information comes through the process. Will be able to get the kill even before the plant is completed. And Big Academy will be able to get themselves around on the board here. Looked a little bit dire at one point once they lost that first picket towards the top of Banana, but they win a really big gunfight out towards the top middle, trading favorably. We'll catch the replay here as well. This was Ozek who opened up the round.
Yeah, still hyped, of course, perfectly done here. The support of Prozis as well worked out very, very well. Of course, was able to see a knee without even having to peek fully. Still is able to deny a bomb plant. Nicely done. The T's can still buy into this round. They do not have any reserves left to really go all out on utility either, but it's fine. They've got plenty enough to at least start an early approach. And already here, Ozek shouldn't be in this position to begin with. Crimbo's already falling back, though, as he seems to be aware. And Ozek...
timer. Oh,
timing is so unfortunate.
Both of those kills, yeah.
Good Molotov, though, to regain top banana, control the smoke there to extinguish those flames. But Crimbo is ready just to put another stone in their way. How big is it going to be, though? The smoke shouldn't really be phasing them too much. However, they're going to give up control of Banana for the moment and head back over towards A, where still 3 of those CT players are going to be lying in wait. Freeze, yet to frag, but he's going to be holding on to top Banana right now, making sure that the CTs can't regain control here. Johnson. Nice, perfect timing on the flash. Would have been great to have that Molotov in the corner as well, because the flash is only going to delay them for about a second or so.
Yeah, and he's rotated out as well, so this could be a problem for for Big Academy, rather. It looks like aTTaX is going to be splitting on towards the safe site. Freeze has done a great job there to sell that fake over on the B bomb site, and now we have that split under effect. They identify the one player in towards Big, but Hype's position's been compromised as well. He goes down after getting the one kill, and it's all onto Process's shoulders.
Yeah,
How
no
many
chance.
frags can he get from this position, and he just gets completely overwhelmed. Maeve with the wall bang will find the frag, and with that aTTaX gain control.
Yeah, Molotov to try and stop a bomb plant, but it's already been planted on the other side of the bomb site, so all fine here right now as Maeve is towards the bomb site as well. Did take a little bit of burn damage, but not all too bad. CTs have decided to save. That's still the biggest thing on Inferno, I think. Usually as well, when you lose the bomb site, when you miss the gamble, then you just save. So many times we see rounds where 2-3 players end up saving in a round. Characteristic of course, the CT side and also Inferno as a map. However, aTTaX now on to 4 already. They're keeping 4 players alive. They have the AWP going. And it couldn't really be any better right now. Sure, the CTs get 3 more weapons for that next round, but it's still going to be super, super tough. They're still going to be reliant on Deagles or MP9s or the like.
I think they'll be able to afford to drop rifles because
Yeah,
they've got
true.
round loss bonus behind them, right? So that will sort of subsidize the cause a little bit here. But the problem for Big Academy is they win the 4th round, but then lose the round immediately afterwards. So they kind of snap straight back down to square one. They don't have any cash in the bank here after the investment either, so they're deep in the woods, lose this round, and they're going to be lost even further. aTTaX, they're just working so wonderfully as a unit right now. Nice tactical depth with the fakes and the rotations that they're drawing. Very nice timings on the hits that come through as well. And Big Academy, they've got their work cut out for them here.
Yeah, still 3 players in towards Banana right now. For aTTaX already moving up. That Molotov is at least going to stop them here for the moment. ozek just making sure that he has a Molotov at hand as soon as he starts burning. Takes a bunch of damage still, as of course the later the Molotov is already burning, the more damage you get there. It's still Maeve! Big shot from him onto Aqua. Is the entry. Sure, ozek is down to 29, but the entry is set, and we do have Crimbo still backside. He's, I think, even smoked off right now. Did catch a nade somewhere there. Sky, Patrick, both finding headshots. And I'm sorry to say it, but I think this round is also going to go the way of aTTaX. Prozas to find Sky. It's on the opposite side of the map where he needs to be, though. Crimbo still in shadows, biding his time, hoping to find the right timing. Is going to find one, but only one. 3v1,
Wow.
Perfectly fine for the tees. No
How
rotate that's
impressive
going to
is-
come out.
Oh, sorry, mate, but how impressive is Maeve with this point-blank
Yes, insane.
opening? I mean, he just continues to find really good kills in the sights, you know, up close and personal with the rifles, hits those important shots. aTTaX continue to pile on the misery here on their opponents. You know, they find that initial skirmish in towards middle, they find the favorable trades, they get a kill towards B as well. They know there's only 2 players left remaining, and as soon as they have the information that Process is also top middle, well, they know that they can just actually force the issue and trade their way forward in towards B. So this team is looking really solid right now, and Big are going to have to eco in the next round.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Not only does it give 5 to aTTaX right now, it will also mean 6 still on the board for them. Of course, Big OMEN Academy are going to be on Deagles, are going to be forcing maybe even onto an MP9. They have that sort of money. It's just they don't have enough money to put everybody onto rifles to even get an AWP into the mix. And this here as well was so decisive in the round. Because sure, Proza still finds one over towards the A bomb site. That only gives them more confidence in a 3v2, 4v2 to go over towards the B bomb site. Because they know if Proza's over in towards mid getting kills, there's only going to be a maximum of 1 player over towards that B bomb site, and that
Exactly.
pretty much decided the round. So yeah, really, really nicely done. Looking forward to what they can continue with. Of course, the AK is still going for Prozas. Deagles here as expected, but the info yet again is there for aTTaX.
We did see aggression from Big Academy in that previous gun round as well, right? They were looking to try and take fights initially towards the top of middle. They're even peering down middle somewhat. I wonder if we'll see them reeling it in a little bit as we shift into that next gun round. But first, can they do something here with these upgraded pistols? Freeze looks like he's been able to bypass his way into that smoke, but then he re-emerges, phases back through and gets the kill on hype. And that's going to be making it really tough for these players on the site. Sun has to force the issue because he doesn't have any room to play with, and he'll go down after just one kill. And with that, the site loses control as well. At least as alternate aTTaX will have the plant coming through here soon enough.
Yeah, just a little bit of return damage from Prozis from Library before that bomb goes down. Aqua, actually a big move from him onto Maeve. Back down to a 3-on-3. They have nothing to lose. They can, of course, buy into that next round. There's no need to really put any more reserves on. Just try and go for it. See what you can get. You don't have a defuse kit, but if you can find an early kill, then all of a sudden that seems to be possible again. Follow-up Molotov in towards Pit does deal slightly more damage, but not enough just yet to actually warrant a kill. Ozek taking his time. Sky to trade onto Prozis. And that is pretty much the round done and dusted. 6 on the board for aTTaX as expected. Aqua is going to get away with the AWP and also the kill onto Sky. Makes it expensive. And aTTaX don't have all the money in the world. They'll be fine for this and a follow-up and probably also for a round after that.
Yeah, I mean, when you consider the fact that it wasn't eco there for Big Academy, the fact that they get 4 kills is actually a fantastic success. Not only that, but they actually get the AWP for free. Nice shots coming through here across the board from a couple of those Big Academy players. But it's 6-1. And it's in the decider of the series as well. So Big Academy need to turn proceedings around here. This is getting too far gone. It's not too far gone yet, but it's starting to get into that territory. What do they change up is the question. I did mention there's been a lot of aggression from these CT sides, or from their CT side in the early stages of this half, and it hasn't really been paying dividends. So is there going to be some sort of adjustment there?
Great nades. Hype down to 63, and of course he had an interesting position there already. Entries have really been the name of the game here, and yet again Ozek, 11 to his name, 12 now as he finds Crimbo. And sure, a counter Molotov, that only goes to support their suspicion that there is a third player over towards the B-bomb. Say Ozek takes all of those kills. And what can Big change? I'm not sure. But right now, this round seems to be done and dusted. The biggest thing going for aTTaX since map 2 has been these entries. It's been the biggest supporting factor for them. And yeah, right now, that doesn't seem to be changing.
I mean, that's just Ozek, who hasn't really had the series that we would have expected out of him. He was very quiet on Vertigo. He did pretty good on Overpass. But here on Inferno, he is just playing fantastic Counter-Strike, finding fantastic entries for his team time and time again, particularly towards Banana. I mean, he plays the B-bomb sites on the CT side, and he defaults towards Banana on the B side as well, because he just loves those fights, right? And I love seeing players do that. Playing the complementary position on the T side as to what they play on the CT side, because they know what works, they know what's frustrating to play against, and he's doing a great job of that right now. Ozek 13-4, one of the big catalysts as to why alternate tactics are up 7-1, and this was after the gun round as well, Phelan.
Yep. And that's the thing as well, they're holding on to their weapons, they're taking weapons out on the side of the CTs, and yes, they can continue buying. Crimbo needs a drop, but that can be supplied by Prozis. But still, it's 7-1. It's a very, very clear scoreline. I mean, I did call before the game went live that whoever picks T side, or starts on the T side, is going to win the half. But I don't think that has anything to do with the T side right now. Rather just aTTaX being on point, finding headshots, and the CTs being in a tough spot.
Yeah, you did make that prediction. That's fair enough, mate. That's fair dues. I'll give you that one.
It's too easy.
Oh, Big Academy. They're going to be really aggrieved with themselves, though. They just look so damn good on Vertigo, but they've been a shadow of themselves since then.
And I think that's a point as well, just the fact that, of course, you start things off strong, then you start to tumble into the second map, and then it's such a one-sided affair at the start of map number 3. That takes a toll, and especially when you're an academy team, when you have so many young players, I think that even is also a bigger factor. We're also a mental game. Sure, big, they have a massive organization behind it and can probably also work to counter that, even with their younger players.
Yeah, sure.
But it is certainly a factor as well. Patrick finds the first one onto Prozas, who went aggressive. The info was there from Sky. And they're able to yet again find an entry and continue along that route.
Will be really rough if Big Academy lose this round here as well. They've been able to afford that investment just because of the weapons they saved from the previous round, coupled with the round loss bonus that they've accrued. But 8-1 and into an eco round, that makes it 9-1, and that is a not a scoreline you want to find yourselves on the receiving end of. Where do Ultimate aTTaX go from here? It looks like they're going to be heading back in towards the A side. They have done a good job of pulling a rotation away from there. Hyped has got that kill and he's got the control, so it's a bit of a false sense of security right now for the CT side.
Yeah, and still, yet again, it's all about those further kills. Hyped on the angle is still ready to counter as soon as anybody comes around that corner. Run boost as well for Maeve, but the time was already gone. Hyped had already moved out. As long as both stay within the scope, Maeve
Big
comes
kill.
out on top. Freeze finds Sin. Sorry to say, but this is also
Maeve.
being shut down. That is half one for Alternate. But of course, they will still be looking to make this even more one-sided as they continue. Yeah, I don't think anybody expected this.
You know what? You got players like Orzek, and I'll couple Sky in that conversation as well. Nice shot there from Maeve, and he's actually the player I'm going to talk about now, because Orzek is doing the superstar role with the rifle. We saw Sky have a great performance on overpass as well, putting up a lot of numbers. It means Maeve doesn't have to be that dominant AWPer who takes full control of the game and is carrying and putting up the superstar numbers, right? He just has to hit the shots that he needs to hit for the team. These consistent shots to find the kills, to create the space, holding the angle, Mr. Consistent himself. I just can't stop singing this guy's praises. I feel like he's performing his role to perfection right now for Ultimate aTTaX.
Yeah, and right now, I feel like they're not even just going to run away with double digits in this first half. They might even go further and not even let Big get another round. I'd love for this to come down to a closer conclusion to half one. Already a little bit of nade damage done. Crimbo under the radar! How does he not find a single kill? Orzek is there with the headshot as well. And sorry, but you need to find a kill in that situation.
I think he's 2-9 right now. He's having a really tough time of it. You have the IGL and the star player. Patrick gets another frag. He's going to be able to make sure he pretty much secures the Ranja for his team as Freeze finds Hyped. Man, oh man. Ultimate aTTaX looking to stomp their way to glory and stamp their ticket in that grand final.
Yeah, and of course, let's face it as well, for Crimbo, the entire day hasn't exactly been going all too well. Only got 13 kills on map number 1. Sure, had a strong showing in Overpass, don't get me wrong. He got 25 kills. He was right up there. A main reason why the team stayed in the game, but it was just not enough from the rest of the team then. They still missed out on a couple of key shots. And of course, that is only going to hurt even more and is going to frustrate you even more when you're not hitting your shots, when you're not getting kills that should be served on a silver platter. And right now we're seeing a pause. And yeah, I mean, this has now been 6 rounds in a row again.
I mean, it feels like they've been consistently losing early fights towards the top of Banana. And I know as the CT side, like, the rule of thumb is that you need to contest Banana. You have to try and contest that control. But I think it's time to just call it a day. Post the 2 players safely on spawn. Just cycle the util. Keep Ultimate aTTaX at bay. Maybe consider going for a bit of a retake later in the round with your, your smoke towards half wall, your molly in front, and your flash over the top with the swing. But I don't think that Big can afford to take any more of these early fights in the round, because Ultimate aTTaX are just continuing to come out on top, and that means they continue to have that numerical advantage. But it looks like they're not going to
look at that nade
They want to
stack!
take these fights, and oh my god, so much damage done to the T side.
How do they not take any damage?
I know, the nade stack actually did all the damage to Orzek and Patrick. I was also referring to the nade stack that came from the T side. And that nade doesn't do much either. What are their nades made of, mate?
Sponges.
Confetti.
Yeah, I don't know. Somebody switched out the equipment for the teasers right now. Smokes, top mid, and the CTs right now should be lucky to even be breathing on this B bomb site. Nobody checks Aqua up top. Crimbo's there to find the headshot. Finally, it looks like Big Omen Academy are set to actually win a round. Patrick gets nuked out from Hyped with that nade. And Sky is down to 1 HP as well. Not a whole lot to his name.
Nah, this should be almost a guaranteed round here for Big. If they don't win, this will be a disaster. Sky with only 1 point. Paul finds a kill, but does get traded out straight up afterwards. And Orzik, well, he receives the same treatment from Postus in pit. So it is going to be Big who find that all-important second round. But obviously, there's a lot more work to be done. I know I've asked this question a number of times already, but I mean, where do they even need to be from here for a bare minimum? Just to feel like they have some sort of a fighting chance in the second half, because I don't even know if like 4 rounds is going to be enough here for Big Academy.
They need the rest of these rounds. They need to make it 9-6. If aTTaX goes to make it double digits and then all of a sudden win the pistol as well, then it gets really, really difficult, especially the fact that thus far, of course, Big Omen Academy have not been able to win consecutive rounds just yet. They're going to be trying to do so now, but if they lose this, it's not only 10, but presumably also a lot further than that going forward. Silent boost up into the apartments. Nobody there close range for Big Omen Academy anyways to notice. Orzik is over that wall and well into top banana control. Smoke coming out as well. Big focus still for him over towards the B bomb site, even though CTs, they've taken a gamble. 2 players towards short, 2 towards long. Bracket control seems to be on the side of Big Omen Academy. Is now Maeve though. Trades back. He is able to isolate thanks to that smoke.
Big kill.
Finds the kill as well against Prozis. Is through in towards short.
Oh my god.
And they're smoked off.
Yeah.
This is awful for them.
Yeah, the way that they don't hesitate after they get the kills from alternate aTTaX's perspective is just wonderful. Counter-Strike, poetry in motion. After Maeve gets that second kill, they realize the situation and they don't take any time to act on it. Bomb plant going to be coming through here. A lot of damage done by the AG grenade, but it's unconfirmed, and I don't even know if the CT side are going to consider going for this. I think they're just going to call it a day and save these guns.
They need the weapons, otherwise they're going to be back to square one in that next round.
Feels like they still are mates at 10-2.
Yeah. Oh boy. Not at all what the two of us were expecting out of this best of 3. aTTaX, not only, of course, with Patrick, who usually, of course, played for Unicorns of Love, but at the same time, they have been very, very strong, but also lacking on the side of Big Omen Academy.
Yeah, true.
Have to give it to them as well.
The highest ranked team in the event, by the way, Big Omen Academy, coming into the ANATY Invitational, ranked in the top 60 in the world.
And of course, they were high seed invites as well.
Yeah, exactly. And it's looking like they're going to be eliminated in their first game at the hands of alternate aTTaX. Unless they can still show some fight here and try and make something with this first half. But how sick was Maeve in that previous round?
Yeah, it's just crazy the fact that they're able to isolate as well into separate 1v1s, to isolate the players in towards long thanks to a single smoke. The fact that even there, no utility was at their disposal to try and counter that in towards short on the side of Big Omen Academy. And sorry as well, but if you're up against an AWP and you haven't heard a rifle into that position just yet, maybe just try to push through a smoke. If both of you push, there's a decent chance that he's not going to be finding both kills at the same time.
True.
And yeah, it's just the fact that right now they seem to be accepting this. There's not even a sign of desperation to try and counter.
It does look like they tried to avoid those early fights. This was what I thought the response should be. There is a bit of counter util that comes through. Oh my god, how does Crimbo get 2 kills? Just like wide swung into the AWP and into the into Orzik as well. And he finds both of those frags. Yes, the trade does come through for freeze, but he takes damage in the process as well. So,
and arguably as well, the strongest players right now falling in Orzik and Maeve, the ones that have been really instrumental to opening up those rounds.
This is true. What do Big Academy, or rather alternate aTTaX, do from here now that they're a man down? Normally you see teams fall back on the B bomb side from these sorts of positions, but it looks like they're going to try and make their way up from archers. Here they go CT. Hyped is here with the AWP, narrowest of angles. Easy kill there onto Sky, and I don't think alternate aTTaX can actually make much happen from here now.
Yeah, don't underestimate Freeze, of course, already tagged down, but Patrick Coming in from long, yet to spot anybody out. He hasn't been seen. Finds Sin, is expecting Process in towards Pit as well. Headshot is there, and of course he finds both. Freeze yet again up for that bomb plant. Smoke gives him a little bit of coverage. Freeze now dropping. The Molotov in towards Pit is important, but Patrick continues to hit headshots, and now it's all going to be down to Aqua in a 1v1. They had the upper hand, but it's turned back around! Patrick! Out of nowhere! Everything going for him. 4 kills. Big smiles on him after that round. Up to 9 kills. And if I'd be big right now, I'd be taking a timeout just to process what just happened. Lost for words right now. Yet again, not a single round in succession for Big Omen Academy. They're back down to an MP9, 3 M4s, an AWP in that mix as well.
All right, Tyler, unfortunately, I am lagging incredibly badly, so I'm going to quickly restart my router, and I'll be back in about a minute. So you look after the good people while I return.
Right now, of course, already the early kill onto Freeze, not really a problem just yet. However, we've just seen what aTTaX can do. Yet again, Maeve to find Process. Not the first time that they find that kill over towards the A-bomb site. Sin to trade back is going to find a double. Patrick also dropping. However, Sky, the triple here for Sin, has support now, needs the quad, and it just won't happen. Ozek still holding on. Does have the bomb as well. Checks back, but Aqua is ultimately going to be there. Aqua and Hyped, they do find another round. First half is going to come to a quick conclusion, though, as we have one more round to go. Big Omen Academy right now, 3 rounds to their name. Big question marks, I think, on their side. Don't want to read too much into the reaction by the players, but Aqua does not look all too happy with the way that first half has gone thus far. And of course, aTTaX on 11 rounds. Plenty to laugh about, plenty to be happy about in this game thus far. They seem to be firmly in the driver's seat right now. Ozek, 17 kills here already, looking for more. Is going to be killed first. That's going to conclude his first half already. Sky on the trade. Not sure that this push from Aqua is too strong. Does take damage. Probably should have dropped, to be fair, and he does. After all, up against Freeze. Smoke down in towards CT. The CT's already on a rotate. Process still not immediately rotating over. And the flash here almost a bit of a waste, but they do still have plenty of utility. Hyped needs to be the man to be supporting his other 2 players with those rifles. He does have a smoke, a Molotov, 2 flashbangs still to his name now. Sin's nade should be dealing damage. Not enough, though, up against Patrick. Bomb plant being denied still for the moment. 45 seconds to go, so plenty of time to wait for those Molotovs to expire. Secondary Molotov coming in as well, though. That will be their final straw. Big flashbang to come. Maeve holding on, though. Has turned 90 degrees in his camera, but we won't worry about that too much. Sin to find the headshot there. All fine for him. Patrick still in towards Pit, is able to isolate into 2 separate battles. Sky is there. Hyped all by himself, and it will be Sky to finish things off. 12-3 at halftime, and what a first half we've seen. Single rounds here and there sprinkled in by Big Omen Academy. What a performance from Ozek alongside Sky and Maeve. And really the entire T side. Sure, Patrick lagging behind.
Yeah.
But when your teammate has 17, you're not going to be caring.
All right, so just a quick test to see how I sound on your side right now, Mr. Tyler.
You sounded fine the whole time.
Okay, I'm watching a bit of a slideshow right now on my feed, so I'm going to do my best to cast what I can from what I'm watching. As long as I'm coming through fine, that's all that matters. Alternates, aTTaX, they're going to be feeling hella fine, up 12-3 on the half. I mean, what an absolutely dominant first half performance coming through from them. And this should be more than enough for them to push this victory home, surely, right?
Yeah, I'd be expecting that this should be enough. I did say that whoever picks the T side or lands on the T side wins the first half. That did come through, but of course I wasn't expecting a 12-3 at halftime. But yet again, a lot of the early struggles as well for Big Omen Academy within the first 7-8 rounds, I feel like, was not only the strong entries from aTTaX, but also, of course, just the difficulty that you have on that CT side. The fact that money is difficult to manage, so we might see that return as soon as Big Omen Academy now open up scoring. A pistol is a must. We've talked about it. Chances are very tight.
Well, let's see. I mean, also aTTaX could pretty much seal the deal by winning this pistol round right here, right now. And look at the stack that they've got towards top middle with 4 players, 2 on either side. In the meantime, Freeze has got some utility to try and patrol towards Banana and keep control of that site. However, the one chink in the armor right now for Ultimate aTTaX is apartments, but Patrick wants to get the information, sees 2, gets 1, but will be traded.
Yeah, very important here just to have it 1-for-1. Crimbo now to find Sky. Might even find a second here. Maeve to come out on top, but he drops as well. Sin now with a double. All going to be down to Freeze. Don't see him bring it back at the moment, but never underestimate the IGL. Bomb is going to be planted here towards the A bomb site. And Freeze was almost bamboozled. He did rotate over towards B, but has, of course, heard the bomb plant happen towards A. If he can isolate, that would be great, but both players now in a similar position. They shouldn't be peeking one by one, so we'll just have to see. Wait until that bomb is tapped. Tapped again now. Check just coming in with that shoulder. Hype will find that final headshots. Exactly what Big Omen Academy need right now.
Oh man, I mean, there's no two ways about it. That pistol was absolutely a must-round win coming through from the T-side's perspective. And you could see Ultimate aTTaX started to get a little bit antsy there with that stack towards the top of middle. They were concerned that the T's might have been making their way up and on, so they wanted to get some information. And in the end, looking for those fights cost them their lives. And it's the round that rolls through for Big Academy. As they did take control, they found the trades that were necessary. And they keep their campaign alive. There will be a force bind response here from the CT side. I mean, Big Academy are still very deep in the woods here on Inferno, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. So they just need to be consistent now. They cannot allow themselves to make any mistakes. Sure, for aTTaX, they have that big buffer. And to be honest, a difference of 8 rounds still, yes, can be caught. And certainly if the Ts keep on going and make life difficult for the CTs. But if we were to venture back into CT spawn, we know that the counter for aTTaX is 4 rounds from actually going that full distance. And to be set for that grand final later on tonight, should be going live around 7 PM European time, so certainly put your calendar for that if you want to watch aTTaX in that, or maybe Big Omen Academy. We don't know right now, but of course we will have No Limit Gaming up against Epic Dudes coming up after this one. In about 40 minutes time is when the game is scheduled, so we'll see if we find a quick conclusion. Maeve right now, at least heavy work with that scout to find that opener in this round. Very late into it already.
Yeah, and he's oh, I thought he was going to rotate across towards the bomb side. He needs to do that. All the useful raining in right now. All hell breaking loose. It is Freeze playing around the fringe of the smoke. He won't be able to get a kill, and he's been detected. No, he does get a frag. Excuse me, he takes Sin down. That's huge to complement the kill that Orzek got before he went down as well. It means there's still a man advantage in play, but Maeve, unfortunately, mitigates that advantage by pushing aggressively forward and being taken down.
Yeah, Sky, though, still preferring through the smoke. Very much pulling attention his way, and look at that now. They've made it onto the bomb site. Sorry, but this is possible right now. Patrick going for the immediate tap on the bomb. Sky drops, unfortunately, no kit here for the CT, so that makes life even more difficult, especially when you're up against 2 AKs. Unfortunate there. It would have been superb, but yeah, 3 rounds, or, well, 2 rounds now at the start of the second half. And we will have to see what they can continue to bring. First buy round, of course, is still going to be a ways out of reach, but will be coming up soon enough as well. Back down to basic pistols, 2 P250s. This should, in theory, be fine for Big.
Yeah, should be an easy conversion, right? With the keyword being should. Italicized as well. But yeah, with them pushing all the way in towards, say, sidechair and find out that's completely vacant right now, they've got all the information in the world. And they will be able to make it that 12-6 scoreline as we anticipated. Use of our process just farming up a bit of extra cash here with the Mac 10 to be able to get 2 kills. Ultimate aTTaX in turn, they're going to look for some damage. And they've got 2 kills.
Yeah, 2 kills in a round like this is good enough already.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially when you couple it with the fact that in that previous round they got 3 kills, right? So just doing some chip damage in these rounds they're losing to keep Big Academy's economy in check.
Yeah, and right now, of course, sure, it's a decent start for the T side. It was to be expected once you win that initial pistol. However, when you compare buys now, arguably, the CTs are slightly stronger. They have the op out, they have 4 M4s to try and complement that as well. Maeve has been crazy on the op as well. So, yeah, I'm ready to see hyped on the Mac 10. Farm more cash. He does have enough money for the op already. But of course, always up for a little bit of bonus.
I mean, I'm kind of surprised he goes for that decision considering the state of the game. Normally I'm on board for that, but when you're down 12-6, I think you want to get that AWP up or that AK up in that first gun round. You know, if it costs the team the round, then that might be everything here on Inferno. But let's see, 12-6, they will be making their way towards the top middle, and it's Maeve who's met first. His AWP lets off a shot, and he comes good with the kill, as is the case with the second as well.
Yeah, and a 2-kill advantage is already great for aTTaX at this stage of the game. Flashbang's coming in towards short right now as well. But of course, the T's are damaged. Lost for structure right now. Smoke coming out towards a long. But right now, still with Prozis over towards the B bomb site. Don't think that anybody's buying that just yet, however. Sure, they're quiet at the top of bracket. Moving through, though. Look at Maeve. Perfectly lined up, just waiting for anybody to come around the corner. And 3 kills to his name in this round. Maybe even a quad. Not quite going to happen. Was moving a little bit too much. Crimbo can pick that all back up. Much rather see him on a rifle. However, Prozis in the meantime finds Freeze. Ozic has got his work cut out for him, especially if Knob is going to be looking his way. Molotov finds him. The AK headshot is there. And a 7th round for Big Omen Academy. It certainly seems to be on the board after Maeve was able to find 3 at the start. The retake is on, and look at how much pace is coming through from them.
Wow. They just charge straight up. Banana force the fire. Crimbo has the touch. He gets the first, looking for the second with the AWP. Can't connect on the no-scope. Patrick gets the kill. Seals the deal for his team in the round. It's a 2-piece that comes through to complement Maeve's triple. And that will be enough for aTTaX to get themselves up to the 13th and their first of the second half. I mean, it was looking like a done deal when they had the 5 versus 2. Crimbo and Prozis chime in to make that round incredibly close. And at one point, I thought Big were going to win that.
Yeah, certainly thought so as well. However, I mean, it was a great take from Prozis over towards that B bomb site, but just so strong as well. On behalf of Patrick and that retake, 13 rounds now, only 3 away, of course, now.
Yeah, they are. And the job will be pretty much done if they win this gun round right now, because it's going to be 14-6, no money in the bank, becomes 15-6. And then they've got themselves 9 map and series points to get themselves into the grand final. And Maeve doing as he does best. He's opened up the round here once again. Ozic does get aggressive towards Banana. Maybe a little bit unnecessary. Crimbo elsewhere's got a frag as well. Prozis, he just doubles down after finding that first frag. It's a sea of orange in the kill feed as they find a flurry of frags. Aqua gets the trade on Patrick. And Big Academy keep themselves in the hunt.
Yeah, so at
Don't
least
really
Maeve...
like that aggression, to be honest.
Yeah, not the biggest fan there, especially because it's really unforced. And you've had such a good time surprising your other team time and time again across maps as well. Maeve is going to be holding on to this op, and that's a big part as well. The T's, they're not going to be hunting. They don't have the money to go out hunting right now, so they're just going to be trying to play it safe. And that's fine. Just go with it. aTTaX will still have an op at their disposal in that next round. Sure, loss bonus, certainly there still. So could at least try and keep it competitive into the next rounds. But Big Omen Academy is certainly doing well to try and come back into this one. Remember, if aTTaX have the same performance and only get 3 rounds on the CD side, then that would lead us into OT.
I mean,
it's still
I'd
a ways
be very
out.
surprised if it happened, just by the fact that aTTaX have looked so damn good, you know, in both Overpass and here on Inferno as well. But there are glimpses. Prozis he's looking like he's really starting to warm up to the game here. Top fragger for his team, up to 15 frags. Going to be an eco for the CT side as well. And if they keep making unnecessary plays and, you know, getting aggressive and giving kills away, well, they're going to be making Big Academy's lives even more easier. Let's see how this round goes.
Yeah, hyped in towards mid here already. They're waiting to put Maeve into a good position on the side of aTTaX, but it won't happen. Decided against everybody else, of course, on these deagles, but especially close range in towards the apartments. Don't underestimate them. Patrick gets away scot-free. Does take a little bit of damage, but certainly dished out a little bit more than he concedes.
Maeve is rotating. He's going to be able to shift towards the B side, and it actually looks like bigger OMEN Academy are doing the exact same thing. Maeve is ahead of the game. The question is, how aggressive does he want to get? He's going to be pushing straight into hype scope. Oh, wait, no. He's actually not going to go all the way. Because that smoke comes through, it's going to force him back. And in fact, he continues to make good reads. And now he's going to be rotating to A along with his teammates, it looks like. Does look like Big Academy are going to be trying to finish this round over towards A right now. 3 players on the site itself. Yeah, he's in the smoke. Ooh, he's getting all these audio cues right now. He could even find the backstab if he times his push to perfection. He's delayed it though, and that means that Big Academy have been able to bypass him. And now with their AKs, they can reign supreme on that A side. I think Ozek needed to try and make a play there sooner.
Yeah. Too little, too late. Either way, Big OMEN Academy at least keeping us honest, keeping this game from escalating into a too much of a one-sided affair. Sure, half-time scoreline was 12-3, and it yet again shows why you also should start on the T side on Inferno rather than starting on the CT side.
Oh, I mean, it's certainly looking like you've got something going for your point there, mate. I mean, both of these teams right now having much better time of it on their T side than they have on their CT side. There is another gun round coming through for alternate tactics, and they were able to afford themselves so much breathing room because of that incredibly successful first half where they went up 12-3. So let's see if they can, you know, maintain their completely dominant position here in the series and in the map by winning this all-important gun round. Lose this, and I start to get a little bit skeptical.
Yeah, and right now still, sure, you're already moving over towards, to say, bombs that the CTs do have a decent defense set right now. I like the fact as well that Sky is playing with the smoke in towards long and that he's trying to stay ahead of it right now. Patrick finds the first kill onto Hyped already.
Looks like that's going to force Big's hand. I think they're going to try and rotate back. There is still a player in Boiler though, but when Maeve is lucky to be alive.
Yeah, at the same time, he's playing that position pretty well. Flashbang might cause problems. Not really a push coming out. Sin drops to Patrick though. And with that, the situation towards A is certainly diffused slightly. Sky already on a quick rotate as both players are in towards oranges. In towards those boxes right now. And right here, Sky comes through. First initial fight through him. Smoke down as well. Crimbo is able to trade back for one. But guess what? Freeze is still in a similar position where Ozek just dropped. Sky is still dangerous from CT. They don't have a smoke for that position. And Crimbo, he's all to his lonesome in a 1v4. aTTaX coming out on top and making it 14.
Beautifully played there by Freeze, you know, positively baiting his teammate after his teammate, I think it was Sky, right, that gets the kill, and then he dies afterwards, and then they never expect Freeze to be there as well. I was a little bit surprised that Big Academy didn't use that one smoke process, had smoke of CT. They left that angle open, and I think that makes their lives a lot more difficult because then that crossfire just splits them. You know, they don't know where to watch. Great round there, or great kill from Patrick to open up in the round, and then, okay, so the Sky towards CT, excuse me, it's actually Ozek who was on top of oranges, and it was Freeze who was playing that bait roll. 14-8, alternate aTTaX, now just 2 rounds away.
Yeah, not a whole lot missing right now, and of course the T's, they have the money to keep on buying, at least here. Boss bonus isn't going to be doing them all too much, considering if they lose this round and aren't able to bring any weapons through, then aTTaX are going to be pretty much set. I like the fact that they're keeping extra flashbangs as well for whoever is rotating. That can certainly be a decent chance to have a little bit of late utility. Bigger focus, of course, right now onto initial damage. Molotov smokes. Maeve with his AWP in towards mid wins the battle up against Crimbo. Hyped not able to return the favor. And that's one early advantage that aTTaX just keep on getting.
Yeah, as the IGL has been removed from the equation as well. Big opening pick, and I think alternate aTTaX have actually had 100% success rate, by the way, in the rounds in which they found these opening picks on the CT side. So far, obviously they've only won the 2 rounds, but I'm pretty sure in both of those rounds they've been able to find the opening pick. So let's see if that sequence will continue. Nades come through, they bank it off the wall. Oh my god, Hype, he catches those with his face. He's been taken out of the round as well. Beautiful util usage coming through from the CTs. Again, they've got another 5 versus 3 here.
Yeah, and that, of course, already kind of putting one nail in the coffin of Big Omen Academy. Or maybe kind of a 13th or 14th before we put the final nail in. We'll have to see.
There's a few in there, mate.
Smoke down now. Execution would still be 3-on-2 over towards the B-bomb site, depending on how quickly Maeve can get back into course as well, but Smoke towards CT is giving them a little bit more safety. Good Molotov towards Pip, but Sin is quick to react. Freeze now in trouble, but he holds on. So does Ozek, and it's all down to Sin in a 1-on-4. 15 rounds now for alternate aTTaX. And big 7 rounds in a row are needed now. Their best string has been 3 here on Inferno.
That is... I also really like to look at those types of streaks, right, and see how they've done throughout the map so far, and you can get an idea of whether what's in front of them is actually possible or not, is actually reality, something that they can achieve, and it just doesn't look like it. I mean, they need to win 7 consecutive rounds. If they don't win all 7 of those, our highest ranked team here in the ANATY Invitational is going to be eliminated at their first turn. Their first hurdle. Alternate aTTaX would march onto the grand final, and oh how they would deserve that feat.
Yeah, of course, they're going to have an extended break then to watch No Limit Gaming up against Epic Dudes. That will be coming up around 30 minutes after this match concludes. Great to see, and the shutdown certainly seems to be on. Patrick gets a double onto Sin and Prozis. Sure, Crimbo is able to find one, but Ozek now also chiming in up against Hyped, coming in from behind. All going to be down to Crimbo. 1v4 in towards CT, does have the bomb to his name as well. Is he aware of the fact that Ozek did push down Banana, was able to grab a kill from behind? Yes, he is. But Ozek also well aware that the B-bomb site would be open if he doesn't return. Crimbo's going to find a headshot, very important for him. Question is it too little, too late? To his name in this round already. 17-18 in his KD. Has certainly recovered considering how poorly he started here. And still moving out. Maeve is going to shut things down. 16-8 here on our final map. Alternate aTTaX get the reverse sweep.
Yeah, they
lose the first map and bring it back.
Yeah, they did, and it wasn't like they just lost the first map. They got absolutely dominated, destroyed on that first map. It was 16-7 on Vertigo, and then shifting into the second map, they were just able to pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and they had a good win on Overpass, and they never looked back on Inferno either.
Yeah, what a best of 3 here. We certainly said that Big Omen Academy would be our favorites, but it was a close game, that's for sure. aTTaX certainly kept themselves honest as well and made life really, really difficult for Big Omen Academy. I do have to say that maybe also frustration was part of their performance here and there, as aTTaX were hitting some crazy shots at the same time. Missing out on some shots that they have to hit. We've talked about that. I know I sound like a broken record by now.
No,
we've especially talked about that on the fact on Overpass, but yeah, crazy stuff. And aTTaX coming out on top. Crazy performance, especially from Ozek.
Yeah,
and I'm pretty sure that we will also have a word with him soon.
Yeah, I mean, lucky for me, that's 2 interviews in 2 days with the beautiful lad, and I mean, what a performance from him there on Inferno as well. Like you say, it feels like it was a combination of Big Academy not really performing at their highest level, but you also don't want to take away from alternate aTTaX's success. You know, they looked really good there on both Overpass and on Inferno, and as the underdogs, playing with a stand-in as well, you know, to put up a performance like that is actually very, very impressive. It speaks volumes actually as to how much depth this team has.
Yeah, so of course, interview is going to be coming up as soon as Ozek is going to be joining us, and then we will, of course, have another look at our brackets for today. Apparently, Maeve is joining us. Then our doc that we got was not right, but it's fine. I'll also talk to Maeve then, if he wants to.
That's cool.
Of course,
Somebody
putting
different.
up big numbers on the op as well. And I'm sure that he can still give us plenty of answered for all the questions during that game. First of all, congrats on the W, and you're in the grand final now, already securing at least €1,000 in prize money. Let's take you through that best of 3. How did you see it on map 1 on Vertigo?
To be honest, the thing is we are playing with a stand-in, so Vertigo was kind of rough because we haven't played it yet. And we got into a bad start and basically threw a lot of rounds. And I think this pretty much cost us the game.
So
Talk about
what
the
was...
stand-in.
Yeah, okay, go for
Patrick.
it.
Yeah, I know. I know Patrick was the stand-in. Talking about him, though, he was kind of a saving grace at times as well. The kills that he got, the rounds that he saved, were crazy.
Yeah, Patrick is insane. I'm telling you, this guy is a monster.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job as the stand-in for you guys. So talking about coming off of Vertigo, you guys picked Overpass, but that's a map you've already played with Patrick. You beat Enterprise, you beat Ryzen yesterday with Patrick as well on Overpass. So what was the mentality like? Did you guys know that you definitely had what it took to fight back on Overpass because you've been successful there already?
Yeah, definitely. The thing is, we knew that Big Academy is good on Overpass as well, but when we played with Patrick, the last games, I don't know, it felt like Overpass was easy. Like, I don't know, we were so confident that we felt like we should pick it, and that's the reasoning behind it. We went with our strength instead of theirs.
So, of course, moving on, not only did you have a strong performance yourself, also Ozek at times was crazy to find crazy entries, especially at the start of Inferno as well. What was kind of the team's reaction to him going crazy?
Well, I think it's the usual. Ozek is insane,
everyone's used to it.
Yeah, it was kind of expected.
Maeve, you know, you've got yourself in the grand final. You're going to be playing against the winner between Epic Dudes and NLG. What's your thoughts on that match? And then what's your thoughts on the grand final as well?
I'm pretty sure NLG will win this game. They will win it easily. No hate towards Epic Dudes, but NLG is on another level right now. And, well, even though we're playing with a stand-in, we want to crush NLG, no matter what. So we're expecting to win this grand final.
Okay, fantastic. Well, Maeve, thank you so much for joining us here and giving us some insights. Tyler, assuming you don't have anything further for the lad, we can bid him farewell. So thank you, brother, and good luck in the grand final later.
Thanks for the cast. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
See ya.
Awesome. Cheers, Maeve. Well, there we go, Tyler. Thoughts off the back of that interview?
Yeah, just pure confidence as we expected. I just love the fact that, pretty much just normal. Patrick's insane. We're insane. And,
we're gonna crush NLG.
Yeah. No worries whatsoever. Ozek's insane. We could just hit headshots. But yeah, strong stuff. Certainly, I think the right response to the questions when you consider the game that we just saw from them on Overpass and now also on Inferno. It's been a blast.
It has. I believe we've got brackets here left to just show everybody and remind you guys the action that is left remaining today. It's going to be Phelan and Menjay to take you through the remaining games. It's going to be NLG and Epic Dudes as that second semi-final. That's going to be in about 30 minutes from now. I believe we're going to be pushing that back ever so slightly just to make sure we have that 30-minute break. And then at 7 p.m. CET, it's Ultimate aTTaX against the winner of that second semi-final.
Yeah, presumably should be No Limit Gaming if Maeve's response is anything to go on and our prediction is anything to go on, but we'll see how they manage. For that is going to be it for now. Of course, make sure to check out all of our beautiful partners, linked down below and also in the chat. And of course, without them, tournaments like this would not be possible. And we'll see you guys on the other side of the break in about 30 minutes time.
talk to the stars tonight.